everywhere. I hope your ship is well. That only Jolly Roger has been through hell. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. In the heat digital high seas, we travel with ease until we reach the outer edge and freeze. The Arctic chill like a very speed mill through the darkness led by our will. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. Beyond the outer limits of society, protesting the reality. The pirates will always steal the show. It's the WP Army and you know. Yo ho, on an adventure we go. Dock our vessels in the Stoneport Harbor. No land lovers will fight for you harder. Your old first mate went AWOL after a tricky kill haul. The legacy of pirate radio is strong. I hope our mates will come along. The changes we seek may not be long. That is why I wrote this song. And we go ho ho, on adventure we go. Welcome everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys, to yet another weekly edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 347. I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website we will direct your attention to. Sign up is free. All you simply need is a username, password, and email. If you'd like to either help us out via PayPal or contact us with show suggestions or guest ideas, Pirate1Radio at protonmail.com is the way you go about doing that. Pirate, the numeral 1 radio at protonmail.com. Liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit subscription, notification buttons, always very helpful, along with passing word along to friends, family, and coworkers. So do check out the show description end of things as well. Give you a little clearer sense of what we're all about and how you can, if you appreciate what we do, help us to grow and reach a wider audience. So that being said, we're joined here once again. We've got a bit of a shake-up from a technical standpoint as far as our VoIP of choice is concerned. We're working with Jitsi now, primarily going to see how this one goes throughout the long term. They transition from Skype to Teams, and some people not really liking it all that much. So we're going to be sharing where we can here the link to join us in Jitsi for those of you out there who would like to do so. And of course, as always, the only one real prerequisite that we have is it's quite simple. and I hope hopefully something Tanya here will concur with. Don't be a dick. Yes, that's right. Tanya returning from after joining us this past Sunday. It was Saturday back in the West, of course, but in the feature show capacity just a couple days ago. So, courtesy of Mobile, Alabama, Tanya Ben Mansour, aka Vidali Lotus. We're getting some pretty good numbers with the show we did, Tanya. So I'm not sure why that is. It always is interesting though to keep an eye on things and see how interested the public is in dropping by, tuning in, checking out what content people have to share. Welcome back.
Thank you. And that's really awesome. I hope that something we said is helpful to someone somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Even if just a little bit of something somehow, somewhere. That's right. That's the way it all goes, I guess. So good, a great shot of an old friend there, Terry Stock, or Professor Terry, out of he now actually is semi-retired, living in Mexico, but currently visiting the U.S. So we've been in contact through email, and he actually would join me for, well, we were musician buddies for a number of years here via South Korea. He was also an author of multiple books, mostly Korean related. He's an anthropologist who studied under Margaret Mead. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of her or not, but he also once famously got picked up hitchhiking by Chuck Berry. Among other things, these are the stories that he shared with me. It's quite something. So imagine that. He didn't have much to say, really. Neither of them, mostly because Terry was so exhausted, I guess. All he said he did was he crashed out in the back and just enjoyed the ride to wherever they were off to. You've heard of Chuck Berry, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, well, just anyways. Thankfully, you're of yeah, the kind of generation, good old rock and roll. What was it that John Lennon said about rock and roll? It's like if there wasn't if ever were to look for another word or term for rock and roll, it would simply be Chuck Berry sort of deal, to paraphrase John Lennon. But okay, well, we're going to get you on camera here momentarily and see if we got you center, you know, center frame or what have you. But unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to see the talking points that we had put together here over the course of the past, uh, couple of weeks. Really, we haven't been around doing this for close to a month. But what I'm going to do is bring this up on screen share for you and everybody else, and you can take a look at what we've got here, obviously, and kind of chime in. But we'll scroll down to begin with, and typically what we do is we kick off by paying tribute to people that have passed away in the last week or so, and
Okay.
transition from there. We're back on Gab, amazingly, if you can believe that. We were getting completely cock blocked for close to 2.5 years by, I think it's called Cloudflare, which to me seems like a
What
total.
is, yeah.
Do you know Cloudflare?
No.
It's like an NSA. It's got to be NSA type bullshit operation. Excuse my
I am
French.
tech started like so bad with the technology and um yeah, like if I wear a watch that dies, it never works again.
So, what do you do? Well, what do you do if what do you do if your watch?
I don't wear them.
Yeah, you just throw it in the garbage, I guess, or you don't try to get it fixed or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, no.
So, I guess launching a podcast would be completely out of the question. We kind of,
No, actually, I've kicked the idea around.
mm-hmm. You,
Um, you know,
Ashley, is that
but
something?
it's difficult, huh?
Go ahead. We have a bit of a time lag here too. It's something I was going to just kind of remind you of because of the we're on opposite sides of the planet, and there is a bit of a lag and time delay.
So,
So.
like, I know that I don't have the skill to probably do a podcast on my own. And so, lots of people over the years I've interviewed for podcasts and, other people, hey, let's do this. And I can't encounter consistency. And so, you know,
Oh, you
I'm
mean
willing to show.
you're talking about consistently deliver?
Well, no consistency from whomever wants to work with me, or
Right.
we talk about doing it, and then I'm like, okay, so let's set aside, let's sit down, and when can we maybe pre-record some things, or sit down, and they're like, oh, da, I'm busy, blah, 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 and I'm like, but it was you wanted to sit down and do this, so yeah, it just hasn't really happened, but I mean, I would love to do that or partake in it or whatever.
Yeah, well, you're here now, so I mean, you've managed to find your way. This one click VoIP that we have, Jitsi as it's known. So, and we'll bring that up on screen here momentarily. Try to keep an eye on what everything else we've got going on via, the interwebs. Obviously, we have it. We did get our Linux back here as well. Our second machine is up and running now, so that's a bonus. And it takes a lot. I mean, I'm hardly not much more technically capable than you are, frankly, and it's a struggle. Trust me, it's I get quite frustrated and annoyed at times, and even there was a time back in the day where I went through a sort of like a dark night of the soul period, a reckoning, kind of self-reflection and doubting to some extent, asking yourself, like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you even bothering? Like, because I've been listening to podcasts for a number of years when we first kicked things off, and I felt that everybody seemed to be doing a pretty decent job. Why was there any need for us to, have our voices
Yeah,
heard?
yeah,
So
there was that too. And then I guess it's also like if you really seek to get out in the public eye, there's also a lot of nonsense to deal with. And then sometimes there isn't, but it's like how much do you want to actually want to deal with? But I feel that the Dharma and preserving that and just putting out common sense is very important right now. So yeah, I need to do something. You're right. I'm gonna do something. I'm doing it right now.
that's right. That's right. So yeah, I'm not sure how dharma oriented the chat here will be, and like I said, this is the
Oh,
first.
but just common sense. Like, what is really going on? Like, wake up, people. Like, we're literally paying taxes to, child eating pedophiles. And oh,
Uh,
sorry, I don't know about platform word
I'm not
restrictions.
sure how YouTube will take that one, or any criticism of the official WHO rendering or the World Economic Forum (CDC) of what the rat virus now supposedly the official verdict. You know what that's all about, right? So yeah, you can't.
I
How
just
dare
pulled
you
witch cackle.
question the
You
science?
made me witch cackle. Goodness.
Witch Castle? What?
Made me witch cackle.
Oh,
Like
oh,
you may
geez.
I cackled.
Oh boy.
Goodness.
Oh my God.
Boy.
Which yeah, I told you. I think during our the first conversation we had that I actually I hooked up with a witch for I don't know better part of a year really, and there was a long story there to that one, but
Huh.
awful person. But as I said, hopefully you will remember terrible
See,
person,
there's
but
some crazy witches
good
here.
good
The
teacher.
people around here are so
Yeah,
mentally ill.
right,
It's insane.
right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I've not actually, to tell you the truth, it would be great. I would be happy if I could meet, come across or cross paths with someone, a witch or practitioner of Wicca, that was, yeah, that was not that was not kind of mental or totally off the rocker, but it just
Well, I
hasn't
don't
happened so far.
particularly practice the religion, but I mean, I've studied it and have practiced it. So, if ever I can answer questions about anything,
Well,
I'd be happy to.
yeah, yeah. Well, like the term or expression, like weird, for example. Back, I'm not sure if you've studied the etymology of that.
Yeah,
That it just back in the day, didn't it just mean like it meant like a little? It wasn't such a bad meaning apparently, but who's really to say? It was like twisted or bent. Is that right? Like
yeah,
wired?
I meant to wind or to bend.
Yeah.
And it's so looking into because our words hold power. They are shaping our contextual world. They're creating karma. So you either speak good or you speak ill. You sow seeds with your words. So and I think some of the etymology and the connectiveness of language is interesting. And I think language holds us back um evolutionary in our evolution to a degree, because we are capable of so much more nonverbal conversation.
Right. Well, yeah, and often that's the thing is the wu wei. I think what Koreans here call mu something like along those lines. Maybe Zane here. No, Zane is Ivy is connected. Joined in the fray, the conversation here once again. So, um, talking about well, wu wei. Doing through non-doing.
Plus effort, yeah.
Right? The very central kind of core Taoist concept. So, I mean, I'm sure there's been many times where you yourself, as have I, and others, probably Zane, practitioner of the martial arts, it's like you you do by just not doing, by just being there, maybe fully present, right? Aware and
Fully
letting.
present, not thinking about what you're doing. You're not attached to the action or the thought or the speech, or it's like almost like say that your dog died and you're really really sad. Instead of saying I'm so sad, say there is sadness.
Yeah, lose the eye,
Yeah,
right?
lose the I and be present.
hmm Uh, Zane here saying in the comment section on YouTube that at least the U.S. has officially withdrawn from the WHO World. Yeah, so I mean, are we now allowed
I think
to
I was like so
question?
happy.
What's that?
I was like victory dancing.
When that happened?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Well, and that was Trump once again. That was the first one of the first things he did during his first administration, as memory serves. So but so
yeah. Those guys are crazy.
what's that?
The WHO and all of that globalist transhumanist weird
Yeah,
nonsense.
kind of like what we were talking about today in class, the morning class I had that trying to get things squared away here on the well, it's not working. The browser, son of a gun. Conflict of interests. It's just such a huge thing, obviously, in that we've got to, how many times during the course of the whole scamdemic did you hear that in the mainstream media? Any mention of all these highly paid, highly educated, very well spoken, very intelligent, talking heads, you turn to or use the catchphrase, the expression conflict of interest. I was waiting for the whole time for over 2 years, like, why am I not hearing this? you know, at all. It's like, what?
I don't trust anything any of these institutions have to say.
Pardon me?
Harvard University offers classes on Beyonce.
Your audio's breaking up again there. You might want to try to do what you can there to fix things. Just it's kind of better connection. Yeah.
Let me check mine.
Yeah. And just try to, if you could, just try to
Okay,
bring
how's
the
that?
camera. Yeah, and just bring the camera down just a wee little bit too, if you could. It's better because you're closer, I guess. Yeah.
So Yale and Harvard universities now offer classes on Beyonce,
Beyonce.
the pop singer.
Well, that's what the world needs more of. Beyonce. That's right. Yeah.
I
Right.
can't even contemplate that.
Yale. The first thing that comes to mind when I hear of Yale, besides Beyonce now, of course, is has for years been CIA recruiting ground and Skull and Bones. So,
Yeah.
um,
Um, I mean, it's if someone tells me they're a doctor and they think I should respect that. I'm like, wow. So you paid ended up owing $250,000 at least in student loan debt to still be stupid.
well, and the reason being why exactly?
Well, I mean, medicine is so dumbed down now. Most doctors cannot perform basic medical things. They can't even do an incision anymore because most medical schools don't use cadavers. They use cross-section body parts. So basic things like making an incision, starting an IV, giving, an injection, things like that. Most doctors don't know how to do those basic procedures. And
That
it's so compartmentalized
yeah.
now because everybody wants to get a cut of the pie that you have doctors that when you hear something, it's like, or a doctor that used to do something, now they can't do that anymore because there's this new sort of doctor that's doing it. And if you're still anyone that's going to give anyone GPL, GLP-1 drugs for weight loss, you're a murderer. Anyone that's still administering the coronavirus vaccine is a murderer.
Well,
I
yeah.
but I
Well,
said enough.
we were just talking about that today in class as well. I'm not sure how freely we'll be able to do that here, like live streaming via BoobTube, because they are just so hyper.
Oh my
Uh,
God, did I say something like
oh
too
well, yeah.
bad?
It's just the you might just something along lines of administering the experimental kill shots, just because of the way the algorithms and the AI
Yeah,
are running. That
um,
who knows?
administering the allegedly administering the stabby stabs
Hmm.
of doomy doom.
Clot
There you
shots.
go.
Some people call them clot shots.
Much hot. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
So,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I know. I get it. Everybody, all of our listeners
Another
get it.
reason
But
probably why I don't do a podcast. I'm just gonna say it after.
what? I'm sorry. Don't do what?
I said another reason why I probably haven't done a podcast is no one would be able to. They'd never let it be seen.
Nobody would be able to. One more time.
Nobody would be able to watch it because YouTube or whoever would just take it down.
Well, yeah, we got a few different outlets we're having to turn to now. D Live has gone down, and I'm not sure what that was all about exactly, but they're no longer in operation. So that's one less place that we're able to reach out and have the sort of audience that we used to. And this applies to a lot of people that are live streaming. So that's unfortunate. And they took in a lot of money, the startup money that was coming their way, and then they had some pretty kind of shadowy Chinese communist players that were running the show there for a while and God only knows who. So it's all there's an upside and a downside, I guess, and it's just that, as you say, when you put yourself out there, we do as individuals, whoever chooses or dares to, that there's a
And I'll try to
price.
be careful now. Sorry.
Well, okay, yeah, just you can speak in code, and I think that
I'll
hopefully,
speak.
and people where people can just sort of read between the lines, they easily read between the lines. Yeah, so just because of that, we've had two STR kick strike ball strike against us from YouTube on multiple occasions. Real
Yeah, I
bum
don't want
whisking.
you to get that. So
They'll
are you
never
live?
tell us. They never tell us why. They never do. They're just like, okay, all right.
We live? Are we live on YouTube
Oh
now?
yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's okay. It might be okay, but who knows? They're just such jerks, really. And well, yeah,
Yeah, they really are. Holy moly.
there's a
You know,
reason
and
they're
it's
red. Their logo's red too. Let's not forget. It's not a coincidence. So,
yeah,
but
it's but yeah, so what is the first topic you would like to discuss? This is
well, we're back on Gab. That's a good thing. That's great. That this Cloudflare, I think it's called Cloudflare. They do it's like verifying your human security check, that sort of deal. And it's got to be NSA or something where you got the intelligence world is running the show. Obviously, like it's very sophisticated setup, and it's completely contrary to any basic net neutral principles you could ever imagine. Like it doesn't get more non-net neutral than that, where they work to to cock block basically, and to just cause all sorts of havoc and chaos, shutting people down. I mean, as if we weren't, struggling already, as if our lives online were difficult already.
that's because they
Two and a
they
half
know
years we
that
couldn't access Gab from here. 2.5 years. Like, what the hell's up with that? So, sorry, go ahead.
it's well, I mean, they're really afraid that, they know how the mind works and they know that a programmed mind is a programmed mind and but even a programmed mind, if they hear enough of something of a clash to jar it enough to look, they don't want people waking up
We're
to what's really
deprogramming.
going on.
That's the thing. We're deprogramming. We're definitely not
And they
programming,
don't want that
and we're
happening.
not looking for followers either. Just to reiterate, we've said this in the past. So, um, now Alan Watt, not Alan Watts, your Alan Watts, but Alan Watt he was a Canadian. He's now passed on, but he had a great show called Cutting Through the Matrix, and then there he claimed to offer just a lot of the content that he put out was doing what you're talking about, helping to provide these freedom fueled truth bombs that were that were that were the sort of things that were not taught in school to a large extent. So and because of that, it made him a pretty I don't think he was taking $20,000 an episode from the CIA. Let's say, as it just has come out now. Surprise, surprise. In the past couple of weeks, that many not I don't think they named any names. I didn't really look over the article that closely. I just at all, but yeah, $20,000 per episode is what certain high profile influencers are getting paid.
Oh
With
my God.
yeah, yeah. Geez, I mean,
Yeah,
we're
sometimes like Mr. Beast. Did you hear Mr. Beast literally signed a contract with the Rockefellers
when?
like 2 weeks ago?
Well, okay, well, I guess good for him. We'll see what sort of content he
Yeah,
manages to
more
produce here. So,
institutionalized, brainwashed hogwash.
is it you saying greenwashed?
Hogwash,
greenwash too. Is that right? Greenwashed.
brainwash.
Oh, brainwashed. Well, are you have you looked into the whole the phony green agenda and the Club of Rome and things along those
Okay,
lines?
yeah, well, like the whole like
Don't
Green New Deal, whatever thing.
sounds good on the
Is that what you
surface, doesn't it?
right? But I
Yeah.
mean, the
Well,
poles are shifting, so it's causing climate like changes to the climate, and the symptomology of that could be, what they're saying is climate change, global warming. We're at the end of an ice age. So the planet is going to warm up. It should be doing exactly what it's doing. But they don't want people knowing that. And now it's come out to the point it's so noticeable that they can't ignore it, but it doesn't go in line and you can't put people in 15-minute cities with a natural, phenomenon that is out of our control.
okay, there is that, of course, but then there's also what's very much, where things are very much under control. Everything is under control. If you, I don't, maybe you're not familiar with how even back to the Kennedy and Johnson administrations in America, that it was known that within a very few short years, uh, following that point in time, we're talking like the early to mid '60s, the powers that be, would be controlling the climate, weather, or what have you,
They've been
both.
trying to do that and experimenting with that since before then, since like 1920s.
That's right. Yeah, 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 exactly. Of the
Uh,
rain, have you heard of the
they've been
rainmaker?
cloud seeding and
Yep.
all
That
this.
that's
Oh
right.
yeah.
There you go. So, but how much of this are we taught in school? Man-made climate change, sure. How about man-made weather warfare?
In
Come on.
in massage school back when I started, which was 1998. I learned from one of my teachers about glyphosate and gluten intolerance and Roundup and the dangers from the glyphosate. And back then, if you said that, you were called, oh my God, I've been called every name in the book. Crazy,
Yeah.
conspiracy theorist, loony,
Witch,
witch,
whatever. Yeah.
crazy lady, whatever. And
Ad hominem attack. Are you familiar with the term ad hominem attack?
uh-uh.
Oh, that's just, it's like where they just name calling, basically trying
Oh
to
yeah,
win the
yeah.
argument by calling you just bad names. So,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. And I've probably answered to worse, and it's okay. They can call what they will
right.
because now all of it's very much true. Now they know that, yeah, a lot of people are, dying because of it
Right,
getting really
right, right.
and it is
Glyphosate, yeah.
highly toxic. So,
Y-
you know, it's you just have to say it anyway.
That's right. And that's what we've been doing. And I'll issue a bit of a disclaimer here. Don't let me forget. But yeah, just a quick question for you here. Do you know the difference between a conspiracy these days, conspiracy theory and a conspiracy fact?
About 6 months.
Something like that. Yeah, that's right. So there you go. And just a quick general disclaimer that we are not here formally to offer any medical, health, legal, or financial advice. Uh, but rather encourage you, the listener, to take it upon yourself to seek out whatever professional support or assistance you can find, either in your immediate community or via the interwebs. Talk to friends and anyone else you can possibly engage, just to work on better solving the problems that life presents. And it seems that every day we have there's just such an array, obviously, from economic to health, of course, once again, financial, and you name it. So um emotional, spiritual. I think maybe that's partly why we're here, perhaps, for some people out there listening, hopefully, Um, bodhicitta was one of the terms that I shared in class this the other day with one of my kind of young up and coming teenage students who's curious. A lot of Koreans are not curious. This young man, though, he's even though he claims to be blue pilled, I'm kind
Mhm.
of I guess slowly working with him. You could say working on him, but just because he's just presenting so much that he has yet to in ever hear about, really, the chance to encounter or to reflect upon and think about. So, and that's what it all comes down to, is give the people the chance to think about these things and decide for themselves. Free
But then
market,
they wouldn't have control
laissez
because
faire.
no one would choose their own slavery. No one would choose what they're doing to us right now.
Presumably not, but we could.
I don't know though. Have you looked at people lately? I mean, when you order a pizza box here, and next time I see one, I'll take a picture and send it to you. It literally says open or remove pizza from the box before eating.
Okay. So,
The
like,
Subway wrapper, you go to a Subway restaurant and get a sandwich. It
yeah,
says remove wrapper before eating and do not eat this wrapper.
it really says do not eat this wrapper.
I swear on all the physics, all the subatomic
Americans
particles.
must be really hungry. The second Trump
Stupid,
term.
hungry.
You heard his comments the other day. Maybe you didn't, but some people did. Presumably, more of a kind of hard news item here, really, but that he didn't care at all, frankly, from the sounds of things, about the American economy or what
Yeah, he
hardships
doesn't care.
people are having to endure. All his main focus and obsession is whether or not Iran acquires uh, depleted uranium or some the ability to make the bomb. Israel is
I got it.
okay. Israel can have as many nukes as they want, of course, and as long as the mainstream media largely and any other major influencers lay off this business of his role within the whole Epstein file insanity, that he'll be happy, I guess. So it's just pretty
There's
crazy.
something to be said. Like, I definitely don't like as much the other side. Like, I'm really I don't like what we have, but I'm honestly like terrified to think about what would happen if Harris had actually gotten in office. Like, she's crazy. Um, the whole like the thing where they're pushing those agendas on children and the stuff like that is so
Well,
not cool. But
open
then the
borders
red
too.
side,
That's a big one. Open
yeah,
borders.
yeah, those people are insane.
Oh yeah,
But the
sure.
conservative, and I call it like, okay, I call it the libtards and the
Ad hominem.
C
Ad hominem.
um CU blah blah T conservatives.
Conservatives.
Yes,
Is that what you just?
conservatives.
Did I have to say it for you?
Yeah,
I couldn't quite make that one out. So
yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I'm not breaking any
I didn't know
vows.
if
You would
I
be.
didn't know if YouTube would censor that word or not.
Well, actually, that used to be a pretty good word, apparently. Sort of like squaw.
Right. I mean, in England, they just call each other cunts. It's like a.
You cunt.
It's not
You
an
cunt.
insult.
No, that's their way of pronouncing can't. You cunt.
No,
You
it's
cunt.
a
You
slang.
cunt. Pardon?
It's a slang.
It's nasty, man. That's one of the worst words you could call somebody. If somebody
It
said
is.
that, those are fighting words, you
So,
know.
right? So that's what I call the red side. You know, I look at both of these sides and I'm like,
Yeah, but you know what? It's at the same time. There's I
no, do
don't.
you know that out of 535 Senate Congress people, only 65 of them voted for transparency of sexual misconduct for congressional members.
I'm sorry that they voted for transparency of
The sexual misconduct of congressional members.
to be held
The rest of
accountable.
them, yeah, the rest of them voted to keep it as is.
Just let them get away with whatever they want. And we're talking their involvement, like in molesting children too. Is that right?
But they get to vote whether or not they are accountable.
Yeah,
That should be put to a popular vote by we the people.
there should
Like
be. Well,
that
what?
would be
Yeah,
like me going out and killing 12 people, but I'm the lawmaker, so I get to decide that I'm not held accountable by the law.
yeah. When's the last time the U.S. held a national referendum?
Um, not I don't know honestly, but it's about damn time again. Um, yeah. I mean, it's
So,
both. And I mean, but you look at what we have, the current administration, and you know, I'm I'm very much without I don't know, I don't really like to cling to labels, but like an anarchist in that I don't play into these systems that we're working under. They're not good. And I uh I wanted to kind of give it a chance, like maybe like I think the guy has a personality issue, but I'm like, okay, he's what we have, so let's see what he does. Give it an honest chance. And I just can't get it past the fact that, you have to be really creepy to own beauty pageants and want to look at young girls in swimsuits and judge them like, oh, this cow is better than this cow. It's like a slave market.
well, they've been doing, but his family, I think, I'm pretty sure they've been. See, you know where his grandfather made his fortune?
Um,
The Canadian Yukon. The gold
huh,
Klondike gold rush up
huh,
right where I was come from originally. I think he was in the Barkerville region, and then he made his way up to the Yukon. Um, I, whatever his first name was exactly, it was just some standard. It wasn't Donald? Some people can look it up. Maybe Zane will here or what have you, but. That's the deal there on that front. And so what they were doing was he was from the, like uh, there were a lot of men, primarily women as well. Hey, come on. We're talking gold, right? So that's pretty important stuff. It attracts, it's sparkly and it has value and it attracts a lot of people for all kinds of different reasons. But things like just supplies and equipment and clothing and food stuffs, and you name it. But also, there would be saloons in these places like
mm,
Dawson City and elsewhere. And they were some, there was there they were having a good time where they could obviously partying it up, getting all liquored up and so you can, as I say, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
no,
And Fred Trump, the son, like his father, Donald's father, look at the history there too, what he presumably he inherited, and what he made of that, and how it all is carried on down the line. It's no great surprise really to me, and I shouldn't be to too many observers to take that into consideration, the historical sort of family context of family history.
I mean, maybe we should stop electing reality television
Ah,
stars
uh,
and PDF files to public office.
oh, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, see these really slick operations, the ones that not always are um, banking $20,000 an episode, courtesy of the company, I guess as they're known, the CIA. But they
Mm.
have the technical wherewithal and production wizardry that they're able to 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 bleep and blank out certain words because of the post production that's done with their
Right.
with their efforts. But anyways, where are we at? Oh, ufology and disclosure. So the UFO files. This was a campaign promise of his. Seems like it's being done on an incremental basis, a slow sort of like a slow drip or slow roll.
You know,
Um, what
okay,
It's like they're telling us stuff
you
that we already know anyways, honestly, because anyone that's watched Ancient Aliens or has downloaded or taken the
come out
time
with
to
all
check
this
out these
shit online.
documentaries on YouTube, like they're kind of confirming a lot of what we've
They
already
already
known
said
anyways.
all of this during the quarantine, but no one paid attention because of COVID.
You're talking about the UFO disclosure?
Mhm. Yeah, they declassified that all in 2020. And but see, okay, 1938, there was the production war of the worlds. Half the country was in a complete panic. They thought we were under alien invasion, but it wasn't. It was a stage, a theater production. And I think that's the big tipping point when they realized how programmable people are through media. And I think they started prepping for a fake alien invasion ever since then. And in 1992, Kathy O'Brien did an interview, and you can watch it. She's talking about a big tech company that has technology that, if you didn't know what you were looking at, would be said to be alien. Um, there were people in actual costuming that, if you didn't know, you it would appear to be alien, and that they were planning to utilize that as a control mechanism.
You're talking
So
about
I
My
think that they
Labs? Do you say Kathy O'Brien? And are you talking My Labs, military abductions, where they're said to be staging these things?
yes,
Okay, there is that, sure, but it's kind of like the crop circle, faking the crop circle business, right? You heard about that too,
I
correct?
think I think
It
the
doesn't mean it's
government,
everything.
they're in on their, and then the whole
Part of
mythology
it.
that these starseed whatever people get into. I don't think they realize that it's actually Nazi ideology based, like Himmler. Hitler's right hand man was really into all of that, and the great white aliens, the superior race of Lunarian starseed, blah blah blah, and yeah. So I think that they're just, and now they have the tech with AI, and I mean they could fake the rapture right now if they wanted to.
Well, the whole rapture business, if I'm not mistaken, and listeners, hey, anytime we issue something that you take exception to, please leave a comment. Let us know where you think we've run
I mean,
we've
they
gone
could
awry.
probably
But
make it look like the sky opened up and, like,
well,
you
yeah,
know,
Ja Rastafari, the dreadlocks man, because when Ja come down, he take you bald headed bald headed people, not so good. You got nothing for Ja to grab onto, right? It's the Rastas. That's why they
exactly.
grow their hair so long. Like, but that crap all came from the sorry Rastas, I love you, and your music is great, but and hey, how about that weed? That's some pretty quality herb we got there. Just so long as there's no Chinese communist friggin' toxins that have been sprayed all over it, or paraquat or
Oh
what have
yeah, they
you.
were poisoning the marijuana industry here in the
Of
States.
course, yeah. And then
Hmm.
the stupid what Westerners are just go here. The communists are just laughing all the way to the bank. So it's the opium wars. It's the revenge essentially for the opium wars, but it's the same people up to the same crap. Only
Well,
it's more updated version.
what they've been doing too is they've been taking, like, cocaine and putting a small amount of fentanyl in it where it wouldn't interrupt the way that cocaine feels to the user, but it would be enough to cause the brain to click into an addiction. So the person, they get this addiction to cocaine, but it's really an addiction to fentanyl.
That they've sprayed it on the weed, or this is something separate?
this is how they're. This is for like cocaine. What they're doing is the Chinese or whoever, wherever it's coming from, they are taking a small minuscule, and they're doing it with the weed too, and putting a minuscule amount of it to where it doesn't change the effect of the drug that it's in, but it's enough to cause the brain to trigger and want it. And so they become more addicted to whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not, you wouldn't be addicted to the weed, you'd be addicted to the slight amount of fentanyl in it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, hey, there's a great shot of Leadbelly and his wife. Bet you didn't know who that was. Maybe you did, but
Who?
Leadbelly.
Mm-mm.
Uh, Let the midnight special shine its light on me. Let the midnight
Oh,
special shine its ever loving light on me. Now another one, good one, a great one is classic. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. What else? I mean, he did so
yeah,
many. So he did, Nirvana's Black Girl.
yeah,
Black girl, don't remember the Live from New York that they did. So
yes.
that's a Leadbelly song, and then even Kurt Cobain talked about I think
Okay,
having
gotcha.
Leadbelly's guitar. You remember him making the comment about Leadbelly's guitar?
Yes.
So and then Courtney Love did what she did, and that was the end of Kurt. I'm pretty sure uh, it almost similar to
I think
I'm
that came out from the file.
recently it's been coming out again. She's kind of probably who knows how much money she's having to pay out to keep a lid on it all. It's probably a significant amount. So, but I mean, come on, qui
Tori
bono,
Amos wrote
right?
a song about her, and it was called uh
John Lennon was leaving Yoko too. Let's not forget. So connect those dots,
um
people who benefits.
I think the name of the song was Starfucker,
Uh,
or the
you're
lyrics
talking
of the
about
song.
Nirvana.
No, Tori Amos. She actually wrote a song about Courtney Love, like
Oh,
in one of her songs about
right.
how gross she was. Yeah.
She's an awful
I mean,
person.
she did,
Yeah.
like, Tori played at Kurt Cobain's funeral. They were really good friends.
Tori Amos, yeah, and then I think the bassist from Hole died under pretty mysterious circumstances too, supposedly. So I didn't follow their whole band history all that closely, but
Yeah, I didn't follow
it's
the whole thing. I just saw some of it here and there, and I was like, none of it ever sounded right.
no, no. So and I actually watched. There's a documentary, great one, called Kurt and Courtney. Yeah, Kurt. I think it's called Kurt and Courtney. Nick Broomfield of the BBC put it together back in the day. And there's this fellow, oh bloody hell, why is it? I always struggle to recall his name. He tracked him down, the documentary filmmaker Broomfield, and this guy was into some just freaky. Oh, jeez, why can I not remember the guy's name? It can easily be found via the interwebs, but he was offered $10,000. He said that Courtney offered him $10,000 to get a shotgun and blow Kurt's fucking head off. Is what how he put it. And he wasn't the only person
I
that she
wouldn't doubt
approached.
it.
She wasn't the only. He wasn't the only person they approached. He showed up then within a couple of weeks after that interview. He showed up dead on the train tracks, said to have just kind of wandered in front of the train drunk or something. Is
Dang. So she's like the Hillary Clinton of the music world.
basically, yeah, yeah, right, yeah, pretty.
Oh,
Her own father, who's now passed away, but he was like one of the first. I think he was an early day. He was a manager of the Grateful Dead, either when they were the Warlocks or just the early Grateful, days as the Grateful Dead, and and he didn't have anything all that supportive to say regarding her as well because he knew her personality and just you could see that she was a real. Yeah, I guess you could go so far as to say like psychopath, not even just borderline. Like just she is really
Like
very
no remorse.
ambitious.
If I want what I want, I'll, kill you to get it.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah.
Like,
Get the hell out of
yeah,
my
that's
way, or
yeah.
you'll pay a price. Trust me. So yeah,
I think, anyone that seeks out fame and all these Holly weird people, they have a small element of that in the because why else would you want that?
uh, well, I guess unless it's your uh calling in life, like your destiny, essentially.
You are you really trying to put some beautiful music out? You're putting out some meaning,
Yeah, or
something, but
movie star, or whatever the deal might be. Some, like athletes, for example. It's they have to work pretty hard. But you're right. Like in the music industry, there's a lot of people that are really they can barely even play their instruments, and these days, especially with all the AI and studio,
I think it was like 2024. The Grammy Song of the Year was "WAP."
is what?
WAP. It is by the I don't know if it was like Cardi B or
Yeah,
something.
I don't even.
One of those people, but WAP stands for Wet Ass Kitty Cat.
I'm sorry. It stands for wet.
Kitty cat.
Wet ass kitty cat?
Um, pussy cat, but
Yeah.
wet ass pussy. It's a song about her.
Oh, wapped. Wapped.
Yeah. WAP.
What a stupid. Jeez. Yeah, that
That
just
was the
shows you where
greatest
the
song.
Grammys have run themselves right into the gutter, obviously. So I haven't
It's just
watched.
like there's no talent. And I mean, one of the song lyrics is bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass. And I'm like, if you need a bucket and a mop, you may also need a healthcare physician, lady.
Wow. That's
I mean,
crazy.
what are we putting out that we're glorifying for the future generations? That's if you're getting into fame and you're putting out content like that, then yeah, there might be something psychopathic or borderline or narcissist. There's something not right.
Hmm. But people that do have real talent and that extraordinary abilities, or they're just naturally gifted. Like, I used to be quite dismissive of Justin Bieber back in the
I love
day.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, see, I used to, and even well, Britney's a different story altogether, but just she's really, it's a sad story on to large extent, just
Really
how
sad.
and people, the hangers on and the family members that look what they did with her mental health care. And she did a lot her own of her, there's, it's like, at what point do you need to really start taking personal responsibility versus blaming others for what they've done to you,
Well, and
right? So, but Justin
what
Bieber,
point do
talented guy.
we? What at what point do we stop seeing? Like what is award-winning content? Violence, you know, um,
Whatever they decide it
sexual.
is, man. It's whatever
Yeah, I mean,
they
it's
decide it
like,
is. It's what they tell us what it
but
is.
it's right, and so that's how it kind of we the people need to look and go okay, all the stuff with Diddy, all the stuff tied into that. If I were to listen to that type of music, I probably would not continue to support the artists that are involved in that. But yet, a lot of people did draw away their support. But, at what point do we, stop being entertained by violence and violent um essay and
Uh-huh.
things like that.
I guess it's up to us each individually to make these decisions ourselves, frankly, and lead by example. For example, I think in the feature show we had you on just a couple days ago, didn't you talk about ourselves as well? Like, and I'm sure many of our listeners seem to be of a similar mindset that they like we have a TV here, which we're using as a monitor right now for the live stream, so it serves a practical, uh, function. But 20 years, no television per se. I must
Yeah,
confess, I'm addicted to YouTube downloads, but that's a little different story because I'm kind of, you steer here and you steer there and try to get quality content archived and into your digital library. But
yeah, YouTube. I watch a lot. The Dick Tong Lak, his teachings, the
uh-huh,
website that I gave. The
right.
rest of them are on YouTube. So I have to actually like watch that because it's all in Vietnamese with English subtitles. So I
Oh
have to
boy.
read along with it.
Well, that's
Oh
hardcore.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's something I wanted to circle back to earlier. One of the subjects that we kind of, damn it, ran roughshod over. I didn't finish the thought. I was going to just to cap things off and complete what I had to say. Oh bloody hell! We opened the door on that one, and it's kind of this is about 5 minutes ago now, and this goes to show how awful my memory is. The wife here, she's like, take your ginkgo in the morning before you eat anything. Come on, it's like and that even that
oh,
even that I forget to do. That's like I know I've got early onset,
you
either
forget to take your
something.
memory herb. That's great.
What is it?
You forget to take your memory herbs,
Well, that
huh?
isn't that ironic, yeah. So, um,
Add some frankincense and rosemary.
oh, uh, essential oil.
Smell the frankincense, but add some rosemary to your
Oh, like
food.
just the herb. Just get some herb,
Hmm.
rosemary herb.
Yeah,
Oh, and the frankincense, that's kind of precious, isn't it?
sniffing. Yeah, sniffing frankincense oil has actually been clinically proven in studies
Oh, okay.
to
Yeah, we've got some.
function
Yeah.
after TBI, memory function.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Because you say that, I'm gonna make more use of the because we do have essential oils here, and one of them is frankincense. Uh, via
Some on a
in
cotton,
It's from India too. What's that?
some on a cotton ball. Get a little organic bag, cotton ball, and just carry it with you and smell it throughout the
Oh, I'll just put it like in a little plastic, like a Ziploc baggie or something.
little Ziploc bag or whatever.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so that's good. Thank you for that little health tip. Of course, that's just between you and I. We'll pretend nobody else heard that. Nobody else
Right,
should
yeah.
definitely feel
Just for him,
obligated to
guys.
follow suit. But what is it that we say too that the views
Try
and
that at home.
what come again?
I was telling the viewers at home, don't try that at home.
Yeah. Well, dis- discretion be advised. But the views and opinions expressed on behalf of myself, the show's host, and our guests do not necessarily reflect those of either the wider listening audience nor the show sponsors. And speaking of which, we're going to cut away to commercial break here momentarily. So if we could just get you to mute yourself out again
Sure.
when you're ready, and maybe son of a gun. I'll tell you if you join us again when we put one of these news shows together again next go round. Yeah, it's been a month. We've been scaling things back since as compared to the sort of the level of what we were doing last year, mostly because hi Danny. It's lunchtime for him too, I guess, or at least break time. So come here, say hello to everybody. You little, he's ours. Once
Hey,
you remember him from last time. If he gets a
I
little
do. He's so
closer,
cute.
you should see if we can get him on camera. I wonder. Come here, Danny. You gonna hang out there on the pillow? Let's see. Maybe we can get him on camera for you and potentially everybody else. Oh, Bodhichar. Hey, Nalanda. There's a good one for you. What do you know about Nalanda? And in your free time, if you could research more the how Buddhism evolved, the history of Buddhism, and how it made its way down from the north to the south. Spent a couple hundred years in in this diffusion throughout Southeast Asia. Then suddenly was was either summoned or just decided upon itself that it was time to return to the north in a new form, is what it seems, unless who knows
Yeah,
what was going
I
on.
have a rough idea about it, but the dates and stuff are a little wonk. So what I can do is for a future episode in the meantime, I'll just make a little outline, so that I can have the specific dates and stuff.
That would be cool. Yeah, like because I'm really curious as to know, just to get a clearer picture. And maybe I can with that connect a few more of the dots and fill in
Yeah.
what's missing in my understanding of
So
things.
are we going to a commercial break?
We are, yes, but first, what I'm going to do here is check out the you can mute out if you want, and oh, son of a gun. Oh, actually, I did. We did get live streaming on Telegram, so that's great. People can check us out there. No longer D Live, of course, but Facebook. Just see what links we provided to you in the show description, end of things. YouTube, of course. HomeNetwork.tv. We haven't heard from them lately. I'm not sure what's going on. If they're, who knows what the deal is? We'd hate to even speculate, but we're just going to take a quick look at. Okay, yeah, our Firefox is still up and running. That's great. Anyone else, of course, others out there that are lurking, don't be shy. Uh, Chime in and let's have your voices heard. What thoughts, opinions, questions you've got regarding any of these issues. Uh, Zane sharing with us here, nothing like trying to communicate clearly in the free world, is what Zane says. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, keep on rocking in the free world. So, know your history, journals, and he has a link there. We'll have to see what that's all about here after we return from this brief intermission. It's an informational uphill battle here in South Korea if one wants to go beyond normie mainstream media think. And I'll tell you what, that's so true, Zane, and that's one of the reasons why, much to the wife's chagrin, she hates this. Like, "Ugh, don't tell them the truth. It just confuses them," is the way she puts it. Don't tell. I'd like to have that as my what is the word?
Was it George Carlin that said, if you tell them the truth, make sure you make them laugh or they'll kill you?
That sounds about right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll
So
mute out for
yeah,
the
yeah.
break.
You can take a break, step away, and just have a sandwich and bathroom visit or whatever you care to do.
Okay.
And we'll see you here in a few minutes. So I'm just gonna
I will.
and
Okay.
yeah, and thank you for your contributions at this point. I'm gonna try to get the Jitsi link out there to anyone else, including Zane, if you'd like to drop in and connect with us here. But he's got more to say here. Well, just to finish the point with the adult class I was working with today, in sharing this Cow Talk link, regarding what has recently come to light here as far as South Korea. The Hopefully this does not cause any problems on via boob tube. It seems to be, it's an official scientific study of a very broad spectrum of number of people, and there's some major issues how these experimental kill shots impacted and have affected people's anything from autoimmunity. Well, they're calling it VADES. People, come on, VADES, uh, vaccine autoimmunity deficiency syndrome, like AIDS with a
I've seen
V.
horrors in my clients
You've seen what?
from horror stories in some of my clients that been. Yeah,
My brother's never
my
been more
neighbor's
sick. He took one shot. He says, and he was healthy as hell for all of his life.
my
He took
neighbor's
it, and he
daughter
never been more ill and sick and feeling like crap.
my neighbor's daughter took one, and her whole face has Bell's palsy for.
Yeah.
And then another client of mine that she's in her 70s, born on a farmhouse table, never had any kind of vaccine, healthy as a horse, never had anything going on. Her daughter talked her into doing one. She took one, and she had to have her gallbladder removed. She's now diabetic. She's, my ex-husband, his wife, they took them. They were both healthy, like gym rats, and now they're both diabetic. Like
Wow.
I've seen just horror stories.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I can
yeah,
believe it. It's just 7 million. They've testified before Congress. This is the official number. 7 million people, not that died from COVID, but the experimental kill shots have claimed. I think that's a low number. I'm willing to. I'll bet anyone $10. Let's say that's a low ball figure. They like to do these things when they're trying to kind of not have the public panic necessarily. And then, of course, they exaggerate when they want to steer things, as they did from the start of what they engineered and rolled out in lockstep. There's that Rockefeller that operative term there, courtesy of the Rockefellers. And it's a
I've
Rockefeller
seen,
driven medical system right from the get go. I think
yeah,
this is something I wanted to kind of bounce off of you earlier, Tanya, when you talked about the doctors and their education. I've brought this up with doctors and nurses and others here involved in the medical industry in Korea, and it's true. Like it's less than an hour, maybe an hour of 6 years or something of study to become a doctor. How much health and nutrition, diet, anything like
one
wholesome, holistic?
3-hour class. That's it.
Maybe if
One
they're
three
lucky.
hour class,
Yeah,
if they're lucky.
done. Yeah, next.
As a massage therapist, I have
Here's your drugs. What do you need?
three
Here's your
or
drugs. Take these pills.
21 3-hour classes, so 67 hours of nutrition training that we had to have just in base school.
That was for your.
Massage therapy degree.
I'm sorry. What therapy?
Massage therapy school.
Wow.
We had to have 27 hours of pharmacology. Or no, it was 21 hours of nutrition and 67 hours of pharmacology.
That's pretty crazy, man. That's intense. That's great.
Yeah.
That's excellent. That's brilliant. So I wish I had that. Just you know. So and that's why you're such a valuable asset and voice to that we need people like you to turn to and to as an option or alternative, and like Valerian, for example. One of my
Valium,
students, huh? Pardon me, Valerian?
Valium,
No, 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 no.
Valium is synthesized from valerian.
Oh, really? Didn't know that. But like the side effects, I advised one of my students to speak to her
Care
Chinese
provider.
medical doctor, this Hani one, the Oriental medicine hospital, basically clinic, and what do we got there? Logan Knight, something about Logan Knight. Leaving a message maybe for us. Oh, via the man cave. I see. Great. We got some. Okay, he's leaving messages there across Facebook for us and others. Thank you, Logan Knight. By the way, we had over 20 people engage with comments and just upvotes or sort of emoji reactions with respect to this latest show that we've launched here. So that's that's pretty impressive. Those are good numbers. It seems to have really that off of our the main page, my timeline as it is. But we shared that to other groups, and oh man, it took off like. Oof, I'll have to go back and check. It could be like over
So
100 or
my
so as far as
student,
people,
my student
comment.
and really good friend just actually walked in my house.
Oh yeah,
Can can he join in the conversation?
Let's see now. Can he? Is you think he would make for a valued is the sort
I
of
think
voice
he
that the
would if
world
he
would
got.
benefit hearing from?
No, he's like, no, no, no. Okay, I was gonna put him on the spot. He's
Well,
like,
he's not,
no,
as long as people aren't like drunk or high or too much of it. I don't think you'd have anyone like that
no,
around.
no.
No, no, no,
Often.
no.
Um,
I was looking for some smart ass kind of response, but it didn't come up with anything. So, but of course, he's more than welcome, and like anyone is.
no,
It's
he says he doesn't want to be on the internet.
okay. Let's just have him then. Keep him off camera, and just have his voice from time to time. Get him to chime in.
Nah, he, he's being shy.
Is this is one of your students for what exactly?
Martial arts and yoga and just like long time friend too.
The two of you are just you kind of just in that friend zone all these years. Is that right?
Well, yeah,
Okay. We were
he's
just
my
talking about
student.
that in class today, actually, with the adult students about can guys, men and women just be friends, and the conclusion that we
Well,
came to there was
a
sometimes
man
you
doesn't have
can.
any choice
Pardon me.
with me. A man has no choice but to be my friend or be gone. And I have no desire. I've been celibate for years.
Oh, you've been celibate for years, is what you're saying. I see. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's really
So
good.
I mean, like, I could probably be naked in a room with any man and nothing would happen. I guarantee you.
I'm sorry.
I
Nick.
said I could probably be naked in a room with any man and nothing would happen.
Yeah, and if it did, they'd probably be out cold like that, you
But
know.
they would be dead.
I've been telling my wife, it's like you got to check this chick out, man. She totally kick your ass. Just my wife, but then again, my wife, we sometimes mess around like with because she had a little bit of taekwondo training in the day, and we it's nothing too serious. Just play
They
around and
spar a little bit. No, that's so good. That's so good.
just yeah, and she's her reaction and blocking and all kinds of just to keep her. I'm glad that she's able to defend herself if she ever needs to. That to totally turn around and just
Important.
kick a guy where it counts, and make it known that
We had
to
5
cut it out.
stabbings the other day in my city.
Oh God.
Yep.
So I like I said, I mentioned during the show we did a couple days ago, harking back, to call back. It's a callback to the feature show, Alabama, and man, this Chris Hansen and Takedown. It's like a kind of offshoot sequel, follow up series to Catch a Predator, and Alabama and Louisiana and Wisconsin. He kind of through 13 seasons or series, he's jumping around through those various states basically, but it's I really love it, man, because I've been down there, as I told you. It's not that far into like the deep south. I was wanting to get to Graceland in Memphis, of course, and even like St. Louis, places like that, but yeah, the whole thing with the Second Amendment, which I fully support, because I do believe that when America loses that right, there's going to be a lot more problems in the world than there already are. As far as world government and
If war comes, the
tyranny.
military won't be defending us. We'll be defending ourselves.
Well, as you should. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment, right?
I mean, you've got over 70 million people in this country with firearms, myself included.
Uh huh.
So,
Does that go against any of your precepts?
mm, I don't think owning it does.
Killing would, but self defense too, right? So how far do you go?
You have violence as an action and violence as a non-action. I mean,
Yeah,
you're allowed to preserve your life.
yeah, obviously. And have you heard the term castle law?
Yes, we have that here.
That's well known in the state, and
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you can defend
Well,
yourself.
and doesn't that fact like make you would think it makes people more polite? Does it not? It should.
It's the
right?
same stuff, bless
Wouldn't you
your
want to
heart.
be more polite? You wouldn't want to go around pissing too many people off?
You would think, but I mean, it's like that guy I told you about that pulled the gun on me a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
He was within his right.
Oh, for sure.
As
But
as
yeah,
as terrible as his behavior was, and as really terrible like gun etiquette that was,
right.
uh, he was within his rights according to the castle laws.
Are you
You
playing?
know, I
By the way, are you kind of nervously toying with a lighter right now?
no,
What's the deal?
this is something I do. I usually do it with training knives at the dojo.
You got a bong? You got a bong? A couple loaded up there? You're gonna
No,
hit during the break, or?
no, I had incense.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Look, if you would, please mute yourself out. I'm gonna shift over here
Yep.
with we didn't get to all of Zane's comments either, but we will work on doing that. Oh God, Vince McMahon. I had a dream about this doofus the other night. He was such a clown too. He's a what a, just I wish I could say something good about the guy. Um I guess he was a great he did a great job. There's no doubt, like as a showman, but it for me the whole professional wrestling thing with Hulk Hogan, and I mean Rowdy Roddy was my favorite, of course. And there's actually his grandmother used to live. She was based out of the central interior of British Columbia. As word had it, she lived like on the other side of one of our local lakes. So, uh, but I loved his showmanship too, his character, and his role, of course, in They Live. So, but I guess that's World. What was it? SmackDown, or uh, was it 3 or 5? You can only take these things so far and reformat and rebrand, and they pretty much run their course, I guess. So, but no, him as a person, you can kind of sense that he's a pretty extreme personality and individual. Uh, some of these things that came out though, like this paying women to perform what sort of sex act? Speaking of catching predators, but he was just more of a really just a sick man, and a sexual deviant among the worst kind. Not preying upon underage people necessarily, but I mean there were those in the World Wrestling Federation who did. So the story goes the Pat Patterson and others. It's come out now. These the dark side of the ring. Anyone that's taking the time, check out those documentaries. Targeting, preying upon the ring boys. Need I say more? So some pretty sick behavior on that front too. But anyways, that's what we had pop up in the slideshow. And as a young teenager, it was pretty cool. Professional wrestling. They were some pretty badass dudes and outstanding athletes and performers, though, too. Acrobats and, some just great entertainment. So, okay. Well, having said that, uh, we will draw your attention to the fact, probably, hopefully, more important issues at hand here, namely that Red Dragon Herbs and Teas. With any order of $25 or more, you will immediately receive a 10% discount. There's Alan Watt too. I'm not sure if I quite fleshed that one out for our listeners, or Tanya, but it's not Alan Watts, the 1960s psychedelic and Eastern philosophy guru, but rather someone who was a Canadian based out of Ontario, who had a great show called Cutting Through the Matrix. He's now sadly departed, but he left behind a great archive of just, top-notch content that, powerful stuff, never failed to deliver. So, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, though, just to finish what we had to say regarding promotion, sponsors, and so forth. Been with us here for some time now. $25 or more, you'll receive an immediate 10% discount. So do check out what they have to offer. It's some high quality product indeed, healthy and wholesome to say the least. So, well, over on the other end of things here, we have the CannaSense Cannabis Collective. 5813 is our referral link. Do take note of that. Help unlock hopefully even more savings for you, as well as manage to give us something of a boost as well. So CannaSense Cannabis Collective 5813. We'll be back here in just a flash, folks. Do not touch that computer mouse or radio dial.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at CannaSense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's CannaSense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. CannaSense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. CannaSense.com. CannaSense is common sense.
Catering exclusively to the Des Moines, Iowa area and beyond, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas is a small, family-owned business dedicated to the creation of only the finest quality artisan herbal tea blends. Drawing upon many of the world's most richly established customs and traditions, Red Dragon Herbs' mission is about more than just getting their products out to the market. They also strive to help educate their customers on the wider benefits, history, and folklore of all their plants. Of course, any seasoned pirate knows when they're fixin' to tango with the Kraken, you best be powered up with at least one of the finest select quality premium items freely offered via Red Dragon Herbs and Teas wide inventory. Choosing from any of their caffeine-free, headache relief, or rest and relaxation blends, history has proven their products among the best sources of scurvy prevention and vitamin supplementation. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief.
Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. We are back. It is show segment number 347 of World Pirate Radio News. I myself, your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website. People want to check out, see what we got cooking over there. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, show suggestions, guest ideas, or PayPal donations, Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com is the way to go about contacting us. Half of everything we do manage to generate through uh, whether PayPal, Patreon, sale of merchandise, digital donations, and the like, goes directly back to the grassroots. Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? We're challenging the likes of all these major outlets as well, and high profile, far more high profile than us, of course, social media figures to to meet or beat what it is essentially that we are doing here on that front. Um, Tanya, do you know of any? I mean, Donna, they say the first step on the path to wisdom is generosity. Do you know of any other outlets or social media operations that are pledging half of everything that they manage to generate, giving back to the
No,
grassroots?
no.
We've been attacked. We've been
I
attacked
do
on.
know that.
Go ahead.
Actually, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, she is a South Korean girl. Her name is Tiffany Chu. She does the Rotten Mango podcast.
The rotten what?
They- Rotten Mango. She's a South Korean girl, and it's true crime.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
They donate a large amount of the proceeds to like a lot of times like cold case DNA files. They'll donate money to get those files analyzed so that those cases can get solved and really do a lot of victim advocacy work. And
I
I was
didn't know
gonna,
that.
actually suggest that you reach out to her because she is a Korean, you're South Korean, and you
Hmm.
guys do um touch compassionately on different topics.
That's a
I
good.
think she's great.
That's well. You know what? Maybe you could help us out on that front, perhaps. Uh, I find generally I'm opening something
But
here. I
that's
can,
the only other person besides you that I've seen donate in that capacity.
or yeah, at least pledge their support in that
Yeah.
direction. So, we've been attacked as being on the one hand over capitalist bastards, and the other is like commie reds. So
So
it's
you've
like,
been slammed as a capitalist bastard and a commie.
yeah, it's like
So
how dare you have any profit here
you're
on your
the
t-shirts and
algorithm.
coffee mugs, and then it's
Take it
like
as a compliment, my friend.
you're getting bashed on both sides.
Take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, so anyways, well, I'm opening some lunch here that the wife left for me. So actually,
Yum, what'd she leave for you?
well, it was a little kind of gift package sort of deal. Do we have to get this on camera? Maybe we could. I don't know. Let's- Don't fall.
Yum.
Little kind of tray deal. I'll get myself off the camera. Actually, only you can see me right now, anyways. So I'm not sure how to change that. Actually, I do know how to change that. Hang on. So, but we're gonna keep. There we go. You can't see me anymore now. Haha. I'll turn my mic off too. And then how about let you carry the conversation while I kind of brainstorm here and encourage everyone to
Okay.
check out Zane's comments on YouTube. Check this out. I'll try to give a quick rundown of what he's unpacked over there. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
it's difficult.
okay, so it's an informational uphill battle here in South Korea. If one wants to go beyond normie MSM think, that's why I encourage all my students to reach out and connect with these so-called netizens. I don't even know if that's a word in the West, but bloggers basically that are part of the. Hang on, stop that! He's scratching the hell out of one of our sliding windows. So okay, come here.
So
Let me finish the point.
during the
Oh,
conversation,
go ahead.
what
Okay.
what talking points would you have me, touch upon?
Well, hang on. Well, son of a gun. What I'll do is behind the scenes here, just share with you while we have the slideshow running. Got to multitask a little bit, but the talking points that we did put together. If you do decide to join us in the future, we'll have to shoot this off to you. And you can bring to the table anything that's on your mind. Frankly, just make a little list yourself. of items that
Yeah.
you like to share with folks, and and keep an eye on the YouTube comments, of course, and uh, we've got the Telegram in place too. We got to work on getting like Pilled is another Reverend Jim is one of our guys. And since D Live went down, it kind of sucks because everyone's sort of gone their own way. Even Teams, Roger Hansen is no longer a part of Teams, and we're trying to share the Jitsi link here, which it's a voice over internet protocol, right? VoIP. So instead of Skype, formerly Skype, now Teams, and who knows where that's going. It might not be in an overly positive direction for Microsoft. I think they outsourced everything to India, probably, is my guess.
Well, one thing I think that we should maybe touch upon
Mhm.
is surveillance type. I was
Sure.
watching a short this morning with my tea. A girl, she was talking about having rented a car in Europe, and she said she was about to pull out, and the gas locked up. Like she couldn't. She was pressing the gas pedal as hard as she could. The car wouldn't go. What was happening in English? It came up and said, um, "We cannot see your eyes. We must see your eyes in order to engage the vehicle." She had, I guess, been driving for a while and had maybe like slid down in her seat a little bit to where the beam or whatever maybe, and when she sat up, the gas released and she was able to drive the car again. And then it asked her, do you consent to us sending this data to a third party? And she's like, no, absolutely not. Who are you sending this to, and who is watching me drive my car? It was a 2026 car. Now GMC is the forerunner in this, and what they're doing is they're installing cameras inside of the car to watch you. Say you and your wife are riding in your brand new 2026 GMC and you get into a little argument. Well, then the camera and your Bluetooth is then going to pull up local marriage counselors and resources for mental health in your area. Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
I'm listening. I'm
And
listening. Yeah,
this
that's pretty
is
creepy. You're right. Big Brother is definitely
yeah,
here
and
on our ends.
now they're equipped with kill switches, and what they've installed in about 20 states is I call them crotch cameras because that's what they're taking a picture of. Um, they're installed in traffic lights, etc., that they take a picture of this area, your legs, this area. And it's so they can see if maybe in a hands-free state, if you're using your phone, maybe somebody is rolling a blunt. I don't know. Whatever it is someone would be doing in their lap in a car. And what they're doing is they're taking photographs and sending it to law enforcement in real time. And what I think a lot of people aren't aware of is those headphones that you see officers wearing. They look like noise canceling headphones. Those headphones can hear a conversation from across the street, clear as a bell. And the it's very apparent now that why would you track something unless it were an asset, unless to you it were inventory. you know I've never seen loss prevention on such a mass scale. And now the I forget what it's called, but now Walmart has the some sort of pricing where all the data that's collected off of you, it's selective pricing. And the price it changes for each person based on your demographic data. And this is something that I think people aren't taking seriously, but it's very neatly packaged for us in the guise of it's for our best interest, it's for our safety. It's absolutely not for our safety. You know, the only way to be safe is to learn how to defend yourself, you know. It, people like Nazi Germany, people voted. I mean, Hitler got elected and then he, you know, really duped the people into voting away their voting rights. And that's what we're doing. You know, in America, people are voting away their freedom. No, I, I do not consent. I do not comply. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. And now, I saw an ad for Palantir, and this wasn't like an AI thing. It was an actual ad, and it was showing, you know, this person that was $50. They were locked out of their apartment until they got X amount of dollars for reentry for their rent. Their card died because they got a ticket, and it was linked in. It showed a neighbor um, snitching on someone that was having a moment of frustration, and then you know, a doctor that owed back taxes, his medical license was revoked. You know, all kinds of things. People their red meat allowance was met, so they had to go eat bugs, or their food allowance was met. Yeah, but Palantir, that's who our administration has gotten on board to you know, do all of this. But yeah, the crotch cameras and ballrooms and such. They have a thing for balls, man. Ballrooms and you know, crotch camera. I don't know. I am looking forward to leaving the U.S. Yeah. Like, I mean, you'd rather sit back and watch her or be behind the scenes. Yeah. Me, it's the opposite. I try to hide and I like my solitude, but the world is always like, I could just be in a room full of people and literally try to slink in the corner, and it's never fails. The whole focus of that room will eventually shift to me in some. and I'm just over here like, no. So yeah, that's true. That's well, even though before it would just be like, or like in when I took my kids to this resort on spring break for vacation, I was floating in the lazy river pool, and there were like these teenagers, and I had a sun hat on, and I was in a bathing suit, like a bikini, like floating in a inner tube, and this group of teenagers, they were just kind of cussing and being all loud, and they just like looked at me and they were like, "Oh my God, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I hope we did not offend you.
Ah,
We are. I'm so sorry." And I
well,
get that a lot. It's really weird.
southern manners, man. Like the southern people are generally they have a reputation as
They
being
didn't
quite
do that to the
polite.
other adults around.
Hmm?
They didn't do that to the other adults in the pool.
Oh, really? Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Interesting. Wow, maybe
yeah,
you just have a certain, I don't know, a quiet, strong presence that
yeah. I found that the more quiet you are, sometimes that'll draw more attention. Unfortunately.
there is something to that. And a lot of people they do talk about the most dangerous people as well, often are the quiet ones, you know, just however it is that they carry themselves. It's like street fighters as an example or what have you, but yeah.
So I
So
deal with it. Like I don't mind being on camera, but I was a music major in college, so I had to do
really,
production
I
and
don't
sing
think
on
you.
stage.
Oh, you didn't mention that. I don't think you said that last
Yeah,
time. I was going to
I
ask
was an
you.
opera,
I'm sorry.
I was an opera singer.
Oh, wow. So you did choir, did you?
Yeah, I did college concert choir and opera theater.
Okay. Look, we got a lot going on here. I did choir too, and it was great. You know, it was a lot of fun. It'd be great to sing
You
with you
did your
maybe
theme
sometime.
song.
Huh?
Your theme song. Did you do that?
Nah, I had a friend, our AWOL Aaron. Everyone's just kind of contributed a little bit to our operation here. It's very ragtag, you know. It's we,
No, it's great.
I mean, you're doing your thing now, and others come along. They pass in, they pass out, they pass on. So, um, but we do in fact have we used to have Pirate Larry Senior with us here on board as a co-host, and he did pass on. He had to go through some serious health issues and had actually a 2 year extension approximately to his life. Uh, is what I seem to remember basically. And but he had sepsis and all kinds of health issues where he got held up. He was coming up from Baja, uh, California. I guess they Zone Libre is what they I think the way they put it to me when I was down there. What is this Zone Libre, Baja California? I still don't get it. But anyways, I'm sure there's a lot of interesting activities that are taking place down there. Probably a few that have managed to capture the Trump administration's attention, but he's gone. But what we gone where exactly? Who knows? Maybe he's gone nowhere, and maybe he was never here in the first place. So but I'm pretty sure we'll meet again. I have
According to physics, there's only a 50-50 chance that only one of us is real.
whatever that means. Yeah. So don't let's not get started. But well, we are all nodes in the matrix. That much I'm kind of down with that concept. Yeah, that's can't really take it much deeper than that. But yeah, we're just everyone's sort of ping ponging off the next person, right? Or whatever stimuli is
It's
present in the
the
environment.
interdependence of all things.
Pardon me.
The interdependence of all things. Nothing exists
Mm-hmm.
entirely on its own.
Pratika samupada. Is that right? The interdependent chain of
Science
origin.
has also proven that dependent origination is real.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, let's not get sidetracked with that right now. I'm down with it. I don't think you're going to get too much of an argument out of me, not from this end. But there's these comments that I'd like to get to here, and we're going to try to wrap this
Yeah.
up within about 20 minutes or so. So as we are back with the second part of this week's live streaming World Pirate Radio News episode number 347. In case you're wondering, who do we have join us this go round? None other than Tanya Ben Mansour, aka Vidali Lotus. I was going to ask you, Vidali, where did you get this name? How did that originate? Speaking of origination.
Man, after it was like I was a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
and it was after a meditation, and I was like, we're not our name. We're not any of this. My name is Tanya. My mom named me after a cousin that I've met twice that she liked. And I feel like I'm gonna name myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, and then I was like, I'm gonna meditate and see what comes to, just what pops up. So that was it. And it came from um actually like Enochian script. I was studying Enochian a lot at the time.
That's
And
that's John D, is it not? The angelic, what is it? Angelic
yeah,
language of some kind?
yeah, yeah. And but it just like the name Badali Lotus, like it was like a harmony, like a sound. And so I was like, okay, that's just I'm gonna pick my some people choose a Dharma name, or if they're witches, they choose a craft name or whatever. So I was like, it's my pseudonym. It's like, to me, it was like kind of taking the authority away from my family that really didn't, I feel like I didn't owe them the, like I wasn't the pet to be named sort of thing. So
Okay.
that's how I saw it. And it just kind of stuck. Um, I used to play in a Renaissance, like Celtic pagan band
Oh,
duet.
wow.
Yeah, and he released an album. It was signed for a while with this album in the UK.
Oh,
And
with a
so that was
label,
like
a UK label.
yeah.
Huh. What was the name? What was your duo called?
Originally it was called Lucidian.
Okay.
I was the original singer. He's got a new singer, or he's singing with his wife or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then many years ago, he got like pervy,
With
and he's twice my
with
age. I mean, he's like now he's like over 65, and I'm 46, right?
so he got
So
pervy with you or his wife?
yeah, he got pervy with me, and
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
I'm done here. I'm not gonna play music with
That's
you anymore.
that's too bad. So he never. Usually, you can read those things without getting too
No, and
pervy.
when yeah,
Was he
I
drinking?
know, and yeah, well, okay. So he was a forensic scientist on the board, like the board of forensic science. And so he was an alcoholic, but he was functional, right? But I didn't know it, and I was much younger. When we first met, I was like 23 or 24. And we recorded this album, which later got picked up by the company in the UK. I met someone who was doing a compilation CD, and she was like, "Oh, well, you do music. Do you have anything? Would you like to contribute?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that's how I met John. And he was like, "I love this. Can we sign it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I called my old bandmate who I hadn't talked to, and I was like, "Hey, Our CD got picked up, and what do you think about trying to make some music again? I'm willing to get past what happened as long as you don't do it again, because I'll punch you in the face. And so we, and it really sucks because we had great creative chemistry. We started writing together and rehearsing old stuff, and he, it came out that he was a non-functioning alcoholic at that point. Like
Uh,
I can't be, I don't even want to be around people that drink alcohol while they're
yeah.
drinking it.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it was
So,
too much for me on all fronts when I was growing up too, just with my family and then what I did personally, back in the day and just having to learn, lucky to escape really with, you know,
your life,
life and, prison and the whole thing, the way with alcohol fueled stupidity, what it does to so many people,
it's
right?
so
So,
dirty,
pardon me?
so dirty.
Yeah.
It's so dirty.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason where that I think Islam, it's one of its it prohibits
But
officially, although if you're well placed within the Iranian or any other Islamic, the infrastructure in one of their countries, you can get away with pretty much anything you want. It seems, so I've heard, and so the
yeah,
story goes. So, but wow, we got breaking news here coming to us via Zane Ivy. There's so much going on here. Just the recent Justin Bieber allegation that Mariah Carey killed and ate her mother. So that's I guess how you get into the big club. If
yeah. You have to sacrifice someone, and then you see them cross-dressing like
yeah,
guys wearing dresses in ridiculous roles. That's an initiation.
yeah.
Those people are sick, dude.
Not Dave Chappelle. Just he wouldn't do it, would he?
He wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither would Cat Williams.
That's amazing. Those two guys are still alive.
Man, I love Cat.
Yeah, yeah,
Love Cat.
and
And I
Dave
love
Chappelle,
Dave
both
Chappelle.
both of them really.
Oh, I want to give Dave Chappelle and Cat. I just want a group hug. Like, just thank them for having the courage to withstand and not give in and still say these things, and
Yeah,
stand up for what's
right.
right.
Well, and during the whole scamdemic, it was Van Morrison was my guy, and but he's always been. And I was just so blown away, like, wow, this guy is. I actually met Van Morrison. When I turned around and he came walking into the hotel lobby, I've shared the story in the past on the show, but I swear to God, I've never seen this with anyone before. There was this aura, like a radiant light that around his head and shoulders that just burst forth. And I got it kind of like, I was just like, whoa. I was literally blown away at that moment on a whole number of different levels. And there's a whole. I actually talked to him after that. I kind of retreated to the lounge area where he kind of he strolled into a little later and after signing in, I guess, or what have you. And nobody else was talking to him, so I mean, I come all the way from Canada to the UK. We were in Wales, Ross on Wye Jazz Festival, summer of 1999. I figured, hey man, this is my one and only chance. So, but um during the COVID, he was who else other than I can think there's a country artist, Travis Tritt was one of the few who
Yeah.
spoke
I
out.
gave him a massage.
Pardon me?
I gave Travis Tritt a massage at a show.
Oh, you've met Travis Tritt.
Yeah, I did massage therapy backstage for a lot of artists for a
Mm,
long time,
cool.
up until COVID, because at that point they wanted only therapists who had been shotted,
Yeah. Clot
and
shotted,
um
yeah.
and so I am not and will not
Pure
be.
blood.
So
Hashtag pure blood. Can we say
pure
that in
blood right
boob
here,
tube? Will they
yeah.
boob tube allow
So
pure buds to
yeah,
survive?
even still, they're still like requesting There's this tour, Gabby Jazz.
Who's doing what?
They're still on that bandwagon of some artists and shows are wanting,
Yeah. Yeah, well,
only the
that's another big. I like his music. I've mentioned this in the past, but another example of the opposite side of things is Springsteen. I want to. It makes me want to puke. It just really does, and it's hard. It's hard. Not as hard. Who else is music? Well, there's certain celebrities and actors and performers, and they call them like champagne Democrats. These
yeah.
to go around kind of preaching to everyone how they need to make all these sacrifices and just kind of follow their lead. Well, they're
Yeah, you
doing
go eat bugs while I fly around in my private jet.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
yeah. Save the planet. Less CO2 emissions. Don't breathe, which is really what they want. And that's another example
We
of
are the
sort of
carbon
thing.
they're trying to get rid of.
Pardon me?
We are the carbon they are
Oh, I
trying
know.
to
Oh,
do.
I totally get that. That's right. So, and that's the thing. It'll get to the point where we'll be shut down. That's why we have to find alternative outlets. I got to get my tech game together here a little more. Get the rag out. Not sure if that means anything to you. My dad would often use that one though. Get the rag out of your ass. So, I'd like to know the origins of that one actually, or maybe not. Um, but Travis Tritt, yep, Travis Tritt, Van Morrison, and then you got the likes of Willie Nelson, Springsteen, and Dolly Parton, and she's really sick right now. Something's afflicted her. Something. She's sick with something. It's like, I wonder if there's a connection here, possibly. How many times did she take these experimental clot shots? So we tried to
People
warn
that
people. We tried to warn people, and you can't. They think you can do science by looking at half the picture. You can finish science in just a few months, and that they could put together something that's going to make just this silver bullet cure and solution for the whole
now
world
they're
within a few
moving
months. It's supposed to
all
be like 10 years.
vaccinations.
10 years at
They're
least.
moving all vaccinations to be mRNA now.
What does that stand for exactly? It's like modifying. They want to modify our DNA. Is what the
Yeah, and it's what it is the
psycho.
mRNA or the mRNA or RNA.
Rubolic
RNA is
nucleic acid or whatever the hell it is.
right. That when your DNA interacts with the cell, the
Yeah.
RNA is the
See.
messenger.
Yeah. Well.
It's the language or the vocal cords
Mhm.
of the DNA.
Yeah. This is tied into Wi-Fi too, right?
Oh my God. Okay. So when this happened, originally,
Yeah.
I was in a meditation. I had this vision of people with it was like almost like a dragon looking things, but like to me they were metal. It was these metals collected in their livers and but it was like emitting signs like frequencies, signals. And then I got this list of things in my head that I knew were the components of viruses used to create the scandemic one. And when they did finally release that, the list in my head, I think I was off by one or two.
Wow. That's crazy. Do you remember what was on the list?
Ebola, SARS-CoV-2, HIV, um, uh, there's some kind of flu, and uh, what's the name of that?
I think we get the idea pretty much.
Yeah,
So like
but it
bird
was
flu or who the hell knows. So
yeah, it was H1N1.
okay, it's all Greek to me, but I get it. I kind of get it. Yeah, it's like this variant, this strain, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And
From the HIV, they took the incubation period and the spread, the mutative
Mm.
factor
Oh,
of
jeez.
the way it mutates
Have you looked at?
and the way it affects
Have,
the immune system, whatever your weakest point is. And that's why the symptomology was all across the board.
and now VADES, the vaccine acquired immune deficiency syndrome, which has been the plan all along. Where they've got Epstein meeting with Bill Gates, is how the story goes. This is just kind of being quietly let out to the public. I'm not sure if you've picked up on that or not, but isn't what that sounds like a conspiracy at the highest levels where they're plotting to.
They
I think
were.
it's like,
Well,
how do we
you
kill
can
all
go
the poor people? It's like,
you
how
can
do we
go
get rid of all
search
these
in
poor
the
people?
files. They planned. It came out in the Epstein files that they did conspire to construct the pandemic, scandemic. I call it plandemic because it's been planned for so long. Right
Right.
before this, they had Operation Dark Winter, which was a smallpox simulation spread.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. And Bertrand Russell, as I've often, well, I just from time to time I do to remind people that maybe are not familiar with this, the whole history of eugenics. And once again, all roads lead to the Rockefellers, of whom, from what we've been told, has long served as a front group to the Rothschilds. They're like the American front group to the Rothschild crime family.
They're
And
scissor sisters.
pardon me.
They're scissor sisters. They're
I
locked in.
Oh, and there's more. It goes further than even that. So, but the thing about it with this and the lockstep agenda, Club of Rome, it's all the usual suspects, and they don't even really hide too much. Like it's like Alex Jones talks about. They have it right there in their papers. These official proclamations and documents. Think tanks and steering committees are really central to what impacts and influences our material world. Thing about it too, Tanya, NGOs, let's not forget, and nonprofit organizations. Oh, private, public-private partnerships. Got private-public partnerships. Every time it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. I went in and talked to a lawyer once about this because I had a business venture in the works. He told me I couldn't do it. It's like I wanted to have like a cooperative corporation or a corporate cooperative. He's like, yeah, you can't do it.
Oh my God, where it's like profit sharing for the employees,
Pardon me?
where it's a corporate model, but
Yeah,
where you have
yeah.
like profit sharing
What would
incentives. Yeah.
what would Robin Hood do, right? So,
Awesome.
well, I mean, I was like little Johnny Appleseed, little Johnny or Jaffe Appleseed, working with the west coast of North America, but that was way back in the day too. That was more of a grassroots sort of musician and arts based sort of vision and venture concept that we were promoting. And some people got it, but we didn't have much of a staff, as you can probably imagine. And I traveled a lot and performed, did a lot of street busking and cafes. And hey, I even had a guy who's like Woody Harrelson come out in disguise. If you can, well, you worked with a lot of people, so you rubbing shoulders with all kinds of folks. But he came out in like a clown wig and sunglasses. But prior to that, I was in this place. I don't know. Have you heard of Kelowna, British Columbia? Probably not. Maybe that's a Bob Dylan actually played there, which is kind of cool back in the day. And I think now it's like, last I heard, it's like the HA kind of. You're familiar with the term HA? Hell's Angels.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So they took, like, they run the town as they do a few places in that province, Nanaimo and elsewhere, really. So, but
Taking over,
what's that?
like the Scientologists taking over Clearwater,
Or
Florida.
Hollywood? Yeah, they bought up all of the Hollywood. I guess the real estate. So, anyways, playing out this, it's called the Grand. I think it's called the Grand Hotel. People can look it up on the internet if they're that ambitious, or what or not. But anyways, I was busking out there, having a hell of a time. It was a great night, and had people come out ahead of time saying like Woody Harrelson, Woody Harrelson. It's like this is the last thing I'm expecting, but hey, he's coming, he's coming. He's like Woody Harrelson, and so within the course of about maybe a minute or two, this guy, like with an entourage of people, he comes out and he's got this goofy clown wig and sunglasses on, and he just kind of came. I was jamming away doing my thing, and he came right up to me, and I think it's people was like, "Oh, Woody Harrelson." Is like, that's some clown guy. It's like, wait, that's not Woody Harrelson. And he came right up to me, and he looked, pulled down his glasses like this, and he got eye to eye, just face to face, and I don't know. It's like, okay, well, hey, I forget what exactly I said, other than I still wasn't convinced. It could have been, it probably was, but at least we could have got together and had some more fun. Maybe sometime we will, but we both have the Ken Kesey thing in common. That's one thing we got going on. I got a story to share there with you at some point. Not now, though. It kind of goes back to my adventures in Europe and the UK all those years ago in Edinburgh. The Edinburgh, Scotland. They were looking for Merlin, the magician, and I guess I kind of was too. I was mostly looking for them though, and trying to find Van Morrison, obviously. So, it was great though, and it's the whole thing with Rosslyn Chapel, and staying a couple nights across the valley. I think it was Roslyn Valley, across the way from Roslyn. Have you heard of? This is long before like Holy Blood. Well, this is based on Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and years before Dan Brown's, what was it, Da Vinci Code came out. So because like I was sort of hip to the holy bread, holy bread too. That's right, holy bread, holy wine, holy shit. Uh, it was just cool, man. Just traveling and busking, touring about, doing my thing. Just like
That
Joseph
sounds
Campbell's talked
fun.
about, follow your bliss. So,
Right.
anyways, yeah. But Travis Tritt, Van Morrison, kudos to those guys, man. Because Travis, he's like, I'm not going to play. If you are dictating and demanding that people have this, then it's up to them. There's no need for it at all. It's their choice, their bodies, their choice, which is the way it should be. And that's the one thing that Trump did from the start back in 2020. But you could see they were going to put Biden in. They were going to get him in so that he could play his part, just as now they've shifted things around to let Trump take the helm and play the role of president and pursue the agenda that we currently see him, basically
I
working
get
with.
kind of jealous of Joe Biden sometimes
You do?
because, yeah, because could you imagine being able to eat ice cream and not get brain freeze?
He's already got it. I don't
I'm
know.
saying, like, he has no brain to freeze,
Oh,
and
I
he's
see.
always
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
ice cream.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Over my head. But
whatever.
that's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You didn't steal that from Chappelle, did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did he say something about that? He
What?
probably did.
Oh, no, no. You were talking about Chappelle, and why am I mind dumping on the black guy who speaks out? He's a
Cat
fearless
Williams.
Cat
Oh,
Williams. Yeah, I
yeah.
love him too, man. I do. Like
Oh, he's so funny.
anytime there's Cat Williams. In fact, I'll take Cat over Chappelle almost any day of the week. I love Chappelle's more laid back and cool, whereas Cat is he's a very excitable guy.
Yeah, he gets in
He
there. He's
gets
very
really,
expressive.
yeah. But that's their different personalities. So yeah, no, I love both those guys. And now that people like Carlin are gone, we need others in comedy um, that are going to speak out. Jimmy Dore is another.
I love Jimmy Dore. He's
Yeah,
great.
he's doing a lot of great work. Rogan, yeah, yeah. Take the money and
Like,
run.
aren't you
Take
a
the
plant,
money and
bro?
run.
For real.
What's
Like,
that?
I'm like, with Rogan, I'm halfway like, are you a plant, bro?
Oh,
Really?
I'm pretty
Like,
sure. Oh, I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, definitely, almost certainly. And he's one of the guys probably getting $20,000 a show. Tim Pool,
way more.
Tim Pool, like, come on, Tim Pool meeting.
You know, Tim Pool he's gotten, you can tell, like, I think that when someone tried to break into his house or whatever, I think at that point, like, he touches on a lot of good things. And
Yeah,
I see, like, where he's coming from, but it's giving bullied as a kid, and then now I'm cool and
I got the mic.
I got the mic now vibe,
Yeah.
like, yeah, and yeah, I and I'm getting like slightly undertones of, like prejudice, like a little bit xenophobic,
Do you
very
know that
suspicious.
he's half, I think he's half Korean.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe that's just, it's a small man's complex. He definitely has that, whether it's, the fact that he doesn't stack up as far as
Like, he's not really a badass, but like he's in the room with badasses, so he's trying to pull it off.
he's really smart. He's really bright. He's obviously
He
very,
is.
very, he's very up.
And he's got a good reporting style, but it's like he's very angry and resentful now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and I can see, if I had my family threatened in that way, and someone tried to, I guess, break into his house or something,
That's how the
you
story
know,
goes. Yeah, they shot up his house, and it happened
yeah,
twice. And
and I could see, but there again, when you put yourself out there in the public eye, that's
yeah.
what is going to happen, unfortunately.
Well, who knows the details of what exactly was anybody ever caught?
No,
So who knows what
right,
exactly what the details were
that
there in
part.
that. Ooh, I'm being
Yeah,
attacked. Ooh, everybody feel sorry for me. 'Cause I'm
exactly.
playing the victim. So it's I don't, who knows. It is what it is, right? So but the point I failed to make earlier, many, but is this business of not getting caught up. What does the Buddha say about not getting so much caught up in what we perceive externally? And Christ was on the same page as well too. It's just that the waters were muddied. I think we did this analogy a couple days ago that they're
Well, it's
both
like,
gold. The waters are muddied.
okay,
You know,
politics is
where do we
theater
go?
for,
Don't go out. We don't go. We go inside of ourselves. It's the inner space. Take care of that, and then from there, lead by example. Christ talked about the blind leading the blind. Get your own shit together, and then you're in a place to better lead and set an example for others. And speaking of which, we have this meme in our slideshow where it talks about real leaders. The secret to being a real leader is you help to create more leaders. That's
that
because
part.
we're just here. We're passing through.
Where you
Yeah.
have a team of people that is so working so well together that you can't tell who's in charge. That's
Ah,
leadership.
ah, there you go. That's exactly right. Yeah. Um, that's right. Decentralized. Yeah, that we hear so much about. Open sourced, decentralized. We encourage you and all of our listeners, speaking of which, to drop by minds.com. We helped to launch, as I think we mentioned, one of the recent PMs we fired off to, a few of the legacy groups back in the day, a couple of which are Buddha Dharma related. And, it would be great to see someone such as yourself play a more hands-on role. They're just, I mean, moderation is really doesn't call for much other than just keeping it clear of spam, and then anytime, it's just kind of common sense. There's people that are just going too far with death threats or wanting to promote,
Violence.
kitty stuff, like just going way off topic, like as far as sick sexual stuff or whatever it is that they're wanting to do from just out of left field. Uh, with a good chance that it's just AI, it's behind the whole thing in the first place. So, but yeah. I'm not sure when we'll be back again. Although, let me just check the calendar here because we're setting this weekend aside to do a little busking. I finally got an amp here. I've never been a big technical guy. I plug in, of course, right? Do an open stage or whatever. But um, uh, how many songs have you written, by the way?
Oh God, a lot. Let's see.
Over
I think there's
50?
like, oh no, no, not that many. More poems than songs. I haven't put
Yeah.
everything down.
Uh, I'm so disorganized, man. Like, we could
That's
collaborate. Actually, you know that? I could send you something, or you could send me something and say, "Hey, Jaffe, do you have a couple lines?" like what he
nice. I
got.
would
And
love that.
yeah, that's
I, I've
so
written a
let's
few books, and other than that,
so I'll you can, like, if you check out Jaffe's Man Cave off of the main site, WPRPN, it talks about member info at the top, and you just do just a pull down. Might even be in the show description, the Jaffe's Man Cave. And then you click on the Audius link, or Vimeo, which is a little different. But we have videos up there, and some are just, I don't know how we can organize them, but they're, scroll past the ones that are the live kind of low quality items that we have in place there. And there's some other ones that we took a little more time in putting together with studio recordings and a video. So there's, like, Hemp for Victory is a big one, underground
I
kind of
will. I would love to hear
it's
that.
been around for years, like kind of protest song in the underground, as it were. And but Walking on Thin Ice is our John Lennon kind of memorial sort of tribute as well, and that has got some recognition, people that know about it. But we want Elton John to cover it, to record and you know perform this
I
song. I
have
keep hearing Elton John, and if not, let's just get an AI Elton John. I don't care. Get him to do it. Get him to sing it.
I've been to like 3 Elton John concerts. I love watching him live.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. I mean, oh man, he's what is he now? 75. He's pushing 80, right?
He's
So
still so awesome.
he struggles with health issues, though, right? He's had health issues over the years, and I kind of feel sorry for him because of his health issues. What's that?
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I guess so. That's right. We might have Mr. Robot coming up on the 23rd, which is next week. And then we have a Jungian author, Scott David Smith, penciled in for the 31st. Let's see now. We also have, I didn't finish this thought earlier. This is a problem with my thought processes and having to slow it down because I know how this goes. I just can let the monkey mind take off. And we were talking about that in class today, Plato and the charioteer analogy, which maybe you could help us out there, because isn't there something similar in Buddhism? King Melinda Menander, the ego, and taking apart the chariot, dissembling. It's like, is the chariot the wheel? Is
And
it the
then
spoke?
origination is that
It all falls apart.
there, exactly, the chariot must have all the components in order to work. So the ego breaks the chariot because if you're not all working parts, there's no better wheel than the other. You need both of them.
Okay, one more time. Get a little closer to the mic. The wheel does what with the chariot, if you don't mind?
Okay, so it's dependent origination in regards to the chariot is that the ego will break the chariot, right? Because you can't have separate entity. You can't have just the wheel of the chariot and call it the chariot. If you take the wheel away, the wheel is no longer the chariot. And the chariot will not work without the wheel.
Right.
So it's dependent origination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, codependent arising. I guess that's
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's I don't know, more just keep meditating, people.
Yeah.
But we did bring that
So,
up. We brought that up today in class with Plato, because Plato talks about that the chariot, reason versus the passions, of course. And but I just thought there was a similar type analogy in the Buddhist tradition, because 900 years of Greco-Buddhism. I don't know if you've ever looked into it or not. I think I did.
yeah, it was from like 400 BC to like 500 AD.
Yes, look at so from Ashoka. Well, Alexander the Great really contributed a lot. The impact and influence, all the way to the time of Christ. Hello, think about it, folks. Like Christ was the zenith, as far as I'm circumcised. The problem
Hey,
is
I need for you to carry the conversation just a moment. I need to step away for a
all
moment.
right. We're gonna be wrapping up really quick, anyways. But yeah, we'll see you in a flash. So. But yeah, Christ was a zenith within this whole movement. The waters got muddied, unfortunately. When did the Library of Alexandria? When was that burnt down? My God, just think of the crimes against humanity. Think of what was lost. Oh my God. Think of what was actually ended up in the Vatican secret library, the archives. I bet you there's a significant amount that you could still find today. Uh, what would it be like to work in the Vatican's secret library? The archives that they have that are so huge, most people don't know about this, but we're talking like 30 kilometers. I think that's yeah. We're not. It's not like 30 yards or 30 feet or anything like that. We're talking 30 kilometers, like squared. It's just this is all underground, of course, too. It's all running off just endlessly what they've stashed. Occulted, really, is the word. They've hidden.
Yeah.
You've heard about the archives, how huge they are?
Oh, the ones under the Vatican?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
massive. And it's like
mind blowing.
I think the Greco-Buddhist thing, I think that was the formation of Stoicism and skepticism
Mm,
is what Buddhism really largely
yeah.
shaped
Yeah,
culture.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Manichaeism.
Manicat.
Well, there's all these
Yeah.
different like Manichaeism and all kinds of. I think Manny. Yeah, Manny himself was he was killed by the I don't know if he was the Shah or what title he held, the head of Persia at the time, and his head was lopped off, and they placed it on a pike. At, at
Yeah, I'm
I
about to
was
send you something really funny on your messenger.
okay.
This is this is great.
Hmm. Hopefully, a little funnier, something funnier than Project MK
Oh yeah.
Often. If you can see that here, MK Ultra, but MK Often. So, which reminds me, you said something about being as a youth recruited not only into they have the order de Malay for the boys,
That's little boys.
right?
Yeah.
And then the girls is the Eastern Star.
Well, the little girls is like Malay, and then you have Rainbow Girls. And then you go from there to Eastern Star and Masonry.
That's Venus, isn't it? The Eastern Star.
Mhm.
That's why they have, is it not? They have the inverted. I mean, you could look at it as
The inverted pentagram, yeah.
yeah, as like, oh, it's satanic. Well, and you mentioned earlier the craft. Look at this. This is weird. The synchronicity here, hilarious. Masonic witch. You can see this here. Elon Musk. He probably is something along these lines, and I don't think he's being that honest about his knowledge
Yeah,
of
that guy is
what's
totally not honest.
like
He's so creepy.
what is out there in space. He's like, yeah, you think if anyone was to know about it, it would be me, and I haven't seen any. I don't know nothing. What if he's so full of crap? But the craft, witchcraft, Wicca, the craft. Well, what do they call another? This is a synonym for masonry is exactly that, is it not? The craft.
Yeah, and you'll hear some old school people say like, if the pentagram has one point up, then it's like um enlightenment over the material, and then if it's 2 points up, then it is the material over the emotional or the spiritual. So that would make sense in that, like, your more left hand path, your satanic, whatever, they are more concerned with worldly gain, worldly power, worldly concerns. And then your Wiccans and your more, they're not so concerned with that as much. So
Oh,
it's more of
really?
like a indicative of a right hand path sort of thing with one hand up.
One hand up.
Or
Okay.
one point. One
I
point.
see. Well, and then of course, well, take it to the next level. The next, you're raised to the. I think they say raised to the next degree, elevated, raised. And remember, this is not a religion. It's definitely not a religion.
Um,
Masonry cannot. It couldn't. They have a. They meet in a temple. It's not a lodge. It's actually a temple. They have worshipful
and
grand
the ritual
masters.
being brought from level to level is like you take an oath that if you break the vow of secrecy with your brethren, then your brothers will lay you into a shallowy water grave, and you actually reenact the act of being hit in the back of the head, Hiram Abiff being hit in the back of the head and raised from the dead. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know because I met a master mason friend who actually took me through all of the rituals clandestinely, of course, like in a graveyard
Ah,
on some random Saturday.
what kind of Saturday was this?
Just some random Saturday, like, and that was, I think I was 17 years old when that happened.
What was the point? Any idea?
I have no idea, like, I think for him, like, it was,
Probably got off on it from this point.
I think he was just wanting to break the rules or something because women aren't allowed to be Masons. But he taught me all of the handshakes and the clue words. Like if you're a initiate, like, you know, le- whatever entry level degree, then it's um Boaz,
Walking
um
Boas.
Tubal Cain,
Oh yeah, Tubal Cain.
um, but like it's the way they shake hands.
Right.
So like you shake hands and you grip
Yeah.
you place your two knuckles right there and press like in
Oh,
with
the
your
entered.
thumb.
That's the entered apprentice. I think maybe is what you're
Yeah, the
talking about.
enter apprentice. Then you come over the second knuckle and then the third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the. Anyways, at this stage, of course, most of this information can all be found on the internet.
Yeah,
Kind of like
but it is
Scientology.
so, it's just, I mean, the ritual symbolism of that is just so creepy. Like
Pay as you
to
go.
take an oath of secrecy that you would commit yourself to a shallow, watery grave if you know, what? That that's so culty.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. Those are the vows that that you're required, I guess, to submit to and
Yeah,
to swear an oath of allegiance, to secrecy. That's right. Anyways, it is what it is, right? So, but
creepy.
yeah, that's my. I knew a number. My dad had a lot of Masonic friends, when I was growing up, and he was approached on multiple occasions, and it's kind of because of that angle to things. He's like, yeah, I don't really see the benefit to this, frankly. You know, I'll go on
No.
just living my life, as best I can, and not be part of this cult or whatever it is. So, anyway, so it is what it is. What it is, and that goes against. Let's not forget that goes against because they're said to be free and what is it? Free and accepted. Free and accepted. That
Hmm.
you have to. It's on an occultic level. If
But
you
then
are
you have to swear this allegiance of a blood death oath. I
well,
mean,
yeah, but
how
if you're
free is
actively
that?
recruited by them, it says to be one, ask one, right? So that's you're making the first move. You're taking the initiative. You're of your own free will and accord. That's on the occultic level, the karmic, if you will, karmic level. It's your choice, your responsibility. You deal with the consequences, whatever they may be, versus them actively recruiting you in to their cult, which I've had some say has both a political as well as a religious type component. Uh, and you can kind of see that too, right? I mean, it's at what degree, and you're deemed to be a Knights Templar, something like 18th or 19th degree, and then the two different lodges, which the Scottish Rite, and I think is it the Blue
Uh-huh.
Lodge is something separate, and Rites
Yeah,
of
the
Mizraim
Shriners
and
and the Knights Templar and the Knights Columbus.
Hospitaller. I think they're in the mix there too, aren't they?
I think so.
And then you got the Knights of Malta, which are a separate entity all in themselves, if I'm not mistaken. But they're like an
Yeah, and
offshoot.
they're all super weird. Mhm.
Yeah, it all. Yeah.
But it's just, I think that any group that tells you that you have to swear allegiance or death, there's that that should be a red flag to go
Yeah.
far away from wherever that is.
Well, I mean,
You know,
that's how
that's just for fire.
kind of you look like motorcycle. They don't like to be called gangs, of course, but clubs. There's some like I think we mentioned one of them here in passing, and we were sharing because what we do when we put these slideshows together, we just grab any kind of interesting, like we got right here, Scientology rated. It just happened the last week or so. But any interesting news items that pop up in our feed and throw it into the mix so that people can maybe it can jog their memory or get them thinking about one thing or the next in a productive kind of helpful way because our memories really are so short and there's just so many crazy things going on in the world these days. One more reason to
It's really hard to keep up.
oh yeah no, and it's enough to drive some people to drink, as we've already touched upon here with thankfully I drink once in a blue moon if I'm out for a dinner, something like that, take a shot or two, and that's about it. And they it's weird, it's a free and democratic South Korea, but only in the north can you smoke weed. It's not illegal
Oh
in
wow.
yeah here though you'll get your ass thrown in jail or
North
kicked out of the
Korea,
country.
are you serious?
Pardon me.
Like in North Korea, weed is legal.
There's no law against it. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It was only
Wow.
1976 because there was a call made from the White House to then President Park Chung-hee, 1976. He was later assassinated. Just basically quid pro quo, or quid pro quem, I guess. Literally, you break it down, it just means this for that. You help me, I'll help you, kind of deal. Quid pro quo. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that because Washington, there's like, yeah, I think it was a transitional time between maybe Ford and Carter. something going on behind the scenes, though. Whatever the case, maybe the Trilateral Commission, or who knows. But Big Pharma definitely, salivating the whole time, because I think what they really were working to do was to bring in prohibition. And now people completely are clueless. I asked Koreans, like, so when did weed become illegal in this country? Most of them, these are adults too. A lot of them, they have no idea. They have no idea at all. That's the education system. That's how because, and remember, brainwashing originated. It finds its roots essentially in the Korean War. And there was a movie called The Manchurian Candidate. So a lot of the
Right.
soldiers coming back from the Korean War were different
Did
in
you
their.
know that in the Vinaya, the Buddha allowed the use of hemp water as medicine?
That's what I was going to say.
It's
That's
considered,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Because it alleviates
You can
suffering.
use it medicinally, but you
Right.
can't. You're not supposed to use it as an intoxicant.
Correct.
But
Right.
I fully support it to use medicinally. I fully support it to use recreationally. I think that people should just. I mean, five guys that get high, they're gonna start a band. Five guys that get drunk, they're gonna start a fight.
Yeah, that's right. Most cops agree to that too. Actually, the ones that I've
You notice
talked
the
to.
violent marijuana offenders. I've never seen anyone smoke weed and they're just like, I'm so angry. Usually they smoke weed and they're like, I'm gonna eat these chips and watch these cartoons and take a nap
Yeah, yeah. So,
or paint a picture or write a.
hey, or collaborate in putting a song together. Why don't we work on doing that? We can produce
Yeah.
something hopefully positive and productive will come of this the show that we did here this week. Let me just close in saying that breaking news: the CIA has apparently raided Tulsi Gabbard's office. This is
Yes, because she's in a cult. Speaking of cults,
Tulsi Gabbard,
sorry.
the director of national intelligence. The CIA have raided like her office. I guess that what they weren't able to
Just
do
Butler, she
covertly.
grew up in a
They
cult.
come again.
She grew up in a Hindu cult. It's like an offshoot.
Oh,
This guy who thought that he was an ISKCON guy, and he broke away from ISKCON thinking he's all enlightened, but he's racist and homophobic, and she was raised in a cult
I didn't
called
know
the
that.
um something Life Science Foundation,
Oh yeah.
FLS, or
No, I guess.
right. Look it up. Miss Butler is
Uh
the name of the guru. Yeah,
huh.
she's a damn cult member. And that's their thing. They have infiltrated a lot of their members into government.
Uh huh. Absolutely. Well, that
Yeah.
no surprise there.
Yeah, like
Obviously.
she was raised by a racist Hindu cult.
She's counsel on foreign relations too, which I think she's tried to bury or to hide.
Uh-huh.
So there's her supporters don't really want people to come to those sort of conclusions, or
No, they don't.
no,
But
that she
yeah,
has
her
any.
guru is super creepy.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that. So it
Lots of
doesn't surprise me
allegations
though.
of sexual.
Pardon me.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's a straight up cult.
Okay.
Go do some research and we can reconvene and have a full culty convo.
Okay. Speaking of which, Helena Blavatsky there. I'm pretty ambivalent. I got mixed feelings when it comes to Blavatsky. Um, no, I know you've talked about Crowley in the past, and it is pronounced Crowley, like as in holy Crowley or holy moly Crowley. He in fact made up a rhyme about himself because so many people were mispronouncing his surname. I guess they're saying Crowley.
You
Even
mean Barbara Bush's grandfather? I
that's
mean,
yeah, that's right. Actually, her dad.
yeah, her dad, yeah.
That's right. It would be her
The,
father.
the
Yeah.
most evil man on the planet.
At that time, I guess, or wickedest man. He was pretty decrepit.
No,
Pretty.
even still, his work if you do the path work and you follow his work, a lot of people end up going insane.
I know. I heard you talk
And
about it.
so
Let's hear about that friend of yours. What happened to him? I kind of know the story, but straight from the horse's mouth.
in New Orleans, yeah, he was like talking about wanting to get into magic and stuff, and I told him, I said, look, you need to study and practice and get right with yourself first, because it's dangerous. You need to be mentally fit.
Yep.
And he didn't listen to me. And he ended up, we went to New Orleans to a now deceased dear friend of mine. Her name was Leela Wendell. She was a necromantic author, and she had invited us to a Halloween ceremony, and we went. And my friend totally, I mean, maybe he had markers for schizophrenia, but I mean, he went from being a fun loving, charismatic person, like my best friend, to being so crazy, like could not function, just doing this all the time. And like it was bad. It was bad. And but so Crowley's work is still out there affecting a lot of people negatively, and so I think he still is one of the most wicked men, because his work is still working long after he's gone, unfortunately.
You know what his final words were purported to have been? There's two different accounts that I've heard. I am perplexed. I am perplexed, and sometimes I despise myself. So, and understandably so.
Well,
Now, I've never been a fan of the guy, although I must say that, he was instrumental in helping Buddhism actually find its way into the West, believe it or not, in a roundabout way. Are you familiar with the story of one of his cohorts, I think his full name, Charles Henry Allen Bennett, or just Charles Charles Allen Bennett? He was a co-member of the Golden Dawn. Was it Golden Dawn? One of these
oh,
ritual magical or groups, and he didn't have enough
orgy
money.
groups,
Pardon me?
orgy groups.
I didn't hear much about that, I haven't come, but who knows? But
Look up Dion Fortune. She was
Dion
a former
Fortune,
member and Dion Fortune.
right?
She was an initiate of the Golden Dawn, and they made the mistake of not swearing her to secrecy, and she outed it all about
Oh,
how, especially for a woman, if you want to advance in levels, then you have to allow certain things to be done to you. Yes.
interesting. Well,
Yeah, Golden Dawn, they're all like that.
one more reason not to get involved, I guess. So unless you're down with that sort of thing, so but it's everything leaves an impression or a scar, doesn't it? These are samskaras. Well, whether
But if
for
you want to know, like,
good or better or worse. Go ahead.
the light to the darkness of that whole group is with Dion Fortune
Oh,
and
really?
her writings.
So she kind of blew the whistle,
Yeah,
did
she
she?
said,
So was she
oh yeah,
abused? So she was abused then.
she was. But she wrote a book called Psychic Self-Defense, and it is an
Oh
excellent
yeah,
book
yeah.
on, like, yeah, she's really, really, really good.
How about Manly P. Hall?
Not familiar.
Oh, geez, no. Look into it. You'd probably get a kick out of him. It's just a wealth of knowledge, and he actually quite a history. I can't say exactly theosophy or it was more like Freemasonry was what he was affiliated with
That's
then.
theosophy. That's Blavatsky's ilk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of mixed feelings on her, because she was a fraud, a spiritual fraud. Was it
Good.
the hidden masters or ascended masters? Well, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go around and kind
Oh,
of hand letters to myself. It's like, have this rigged here, all set to go. It's like, oh, this is so obvious. Like, come on. But
well,
then again, with
Abraham Hicks.
She might have been right with the history, though. Who knows, you know? But then again, or not. So, do you know what I mean?
Well, and it's like Abraham Hicks or whatever isn't actually a person. That's like this wife or a wife channeling her dead husband or channeling somebody, and I don't even know what these people, man. It's so diluted. I'm like, so you have tell us you have schizophrenia without actually telling us you have schizophrenia.
Well,
Like Dolores Cannon.
is she still alive?
No,
She just passed
no,
away
but her
last.
daughter's still on that. Yeah, but her daughter's still on that ridiculously priced quantum healing and planting false memory Barbara Snow crap that they do.
Really? Oh, and let's not get you started with your favorite, your top of the list, Teal Swan.
Swan Teal.
Actually,
Speaking of schizophrenia and narcissism.
yeah. Well, just it is what it is once again, right? So it's kind of sad, and the
It's just
people
not sad though, isn't it?
they
People
get
are
damaged.
just drawn to the shock thing.
People are damaged, right? They end up hurting people. And
Yeah.
look at Scientology though. People's life savings, total life, just white, totally fleeced of their life
And then if
savings.
you leave them, they'll literally have you killed. They'll go ruin your whole life. They'll ruin any prospect you have of a career.
Suppressive
The,
son of a
it's
bitch.
beyond shunning. It's scary.
Yeah, like just the way you're right. Like the cult type standard response to people that try to leave or defect, as it were. That's right. The suppressives, and they're targeted for fair game, I guess, as Hubbard put it. So,
Yeah.
anyways, apparently, and speaking of really
Gang.
evil people, apparently there are those who knew him, and they would definitely put him in that category. Not least of whom was his own son, who talked. You can find this on YouTube where he's I think it was like L. Ron Hubbard Jr. was his name, and talking about how his father drug fueled who knows what exactly, but he just channeled a lot of gobbledygook, nonsense. He was a
Right.
semi-talented science fiction writer. I'm being generous and kind of framing it in those terms of semi-talented. He worked really fast, but I think he was all hopped up on some sort of a methamphetamine methamphetamine
Amphetamine,
or yeah,
probably.
something like that. Yeah.
They did a
So
lot of dexedrine and
yeah, which was legal back in the day too, right? Those poppers they talk about. Those
yeah,
hook up with
what
the
was it? Benzaprine, or is that no, that's a um it was some kind of pill that they did. It was an upper back in the 70s and 60s a lot.
Oh yeah.
In the 50s.
Oh well, there's a drugstore kind of
I can't
popper
think of the name.
talking. You see
It was
Dexedrine.
I think it was a precursor to dexedrine.
Oh, okay. Well, there's been so much down through the years. So speaking of which, I gotta freshen up my coffee here. I think pretty soon too. So that's my worst. I guess that my biggest drug is caffeine, and uh, I'm okay with it. I guess I don't think there's any. Who knows? I don't even want to start thinking about or talking about the long term effects. I imagine you pay a price for everything,
I think
obviously.
caffeine in moderation is not, I don't think it
Yeah,
does a whole lot of damage.
yeah. I get a lot of dry mouth, so it's like I have to find something to counter that. But thank you so much for your companionship here and helping us out with this journey. I hope that we can get the Jitsi link out to a few of our regulars, Sonia Galactic, Roger, and others. We'll decide to click on and drop in next go around where we launch uh, our follow up show to 347. So
I love these conversations. You're really, it's fun to talk to. You're fun
Pretty
to talk to.
freewheeling, isn't it? It's freewheeling. And we try. You see, we're going a little deeper with these issues and items that we've already kind of breached or broached or brushed up against, like a couple days ago, and maybe just kind of revisiting. It's like, hey, well, what? Yeah, I think we forgot to ask you about this. It's like, what's your take on this whole business? So, and I think our listeners appreciate it too, because I know I do. There's nothing worse I could possibly imagine is that being here, having to do a show solo. It's, I just, I'm not down. I'm not into it. Not down with it at all. At all.
Right, it's
Yeah.
boring. That's why I haven't done one, because it's like, you know, I don't want what I don't. Does someone just want to hear me yap at a camera for an hour? Probably not. I don't know. Like,
Oh, possibly.
so I just
It depends. Depends what you're talking about, I guess. So, but anyways, I think
have to
we've.
definitely,
Pardon me.
I'd have to definitely make like an outline of, be like, stay on these topics.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really undisciplined when it comes to that whole business of like timeline and time stamping. It's like, okay, here we talk about this, and a few minutes later down the road, we're kind of tackling this subject, and it's like, look, folks, just check us out, tune in. There's a lot of great content and conversation to be had. Go around, do your housework, whatever. Kick back, draw some
We've
pictures
been on
or.
here 3 hours, homie.
Yeah, well,
3 hours.
that does happen here from time to
Three
time.
hour
Trust me.
tour.
I'm sorry.
We've done a 3 hour tour.
Damn rights we have. So as we steer the ship back into Skullport Harbor, and time to drop the anchor and lower the sails, and as we say, like, head on out to the. We haven't done it for so long. It's the Howling Wolf. This is one of the watering holes we have here down in Skullport Harbor. We're harking in a little Renaissance festival kind of parlance here at the moment. But what was it? The
Cool.
scurvy. This no, not the scurvy. The What was it? The mossy wench. The mossy wench. The howling wolf, and oh bloody hell! There's a third watering hole. I can't remember. So we got Pirate Larry Jr. coming up here in June or July. He's on. We got him penciled in though, and he can people can look forward to hearing from him. Pirate Larry Senior has passed on to the great beyond, and we'll be seeing him again at some point here. I'm willing to bet, willing to hazard a guess that will be the case. So we'll wait and see on that with that one. But we got Pirate Larry Jr. dropping in, and he is Mr. Pirate Guy, like full fledged. You want to talk Renaissance festival or past life, perhaps carryover, which I think a lot of this stuff is, honestly. And Piratas de Dios was what Pirate Larry was all about, the pirates of God. And ask me about that next time we connect, and we'll have some good stuff to
I
share with
will.
you. So it's really cool. We're a new breed. We're a new breed, and pure blood, as I see here in the slideshow too. Largely pure blood breed. We'll talk to you again shortly, Tanya. Thank you so much for helping out and making this the success that it
Thank you
was.
for having me. It is
Yeah.
always a pleasure to hang out and be excellent to each other.
I hope you can meet a few of more of the crew members as time goes on. So, fingers crossed that'll be the case
Yeah,
here.
anytime.
Okay. Happy sailing.
Happy sailing.
Good
Bye.
night. All right, there goes Tanya, and it's late out there in Louisiana too. It's probably 1 a.m. at least. You can imagine. So I'm really surprised and amazed, impressed that she lasted as long as she did. So good for her. Who are those cute little kids? Hmm. Interesting. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, it reminds me when I was of that age, we had our little we had our preschool. We had a little nursery kind of preschool in the basement of what was a church. Uh, Up top was a church, and down below was the Masonic temple or meeting room. Nothing more than a meeting room. Who knows if there was any further lower, proximities, basements that thankfully we never had to visit. I myself never did, at least, so that was definitely a bonus. But yeah, kind of interesting to look back and take note of how that all played out. One of the local churches in the basement was the Masonic. I mean, what more can you call it? They are temples. That's how the story goes. But they're not a religion. Worshipful masters, not a religion. All sorts of rites and rituals. They want to tell us that they're not a religion. Oh, I'm just waiting for the day when we can have someone on board, someone who is a Mason or has been, and will cop, if you'll excuse the pun, cop to the fact that it is a religion. Of course it is. Religare meaning simply to tie or to bind together. All sorts of oaths, blood oaths, sacred pledges of allegiance. Come on. Like, they really expect people to believe that? I don't know how they. It's just it doesn't. I don't see how it does them any favors or lends any credibility to their image and reputation. So because of that, develop. It's like if we're if they're lying about that, what else are they not telling us the truth about? So, anyways, hey, it's been a great ride here, folks. Once again, as Tanya pointed out, 3 hours plus now. And we got to feed the cats. Not sure about yourselves. Hoping everyone has a great weekend, of course. I'm going to be heading out doing a little street busking. We can see our friend there out of Chicago. Supposed to actually meet with Mr. Guitar Man, the lead player for the Prowlers here. He wanted to connect with us here and drop in a couple weeks back, but I think he's out on the road right now, actually. So it's going to be a little difficult to meet up with him next time he's available. Hopefully everyone got a little bit of what the material content that we covered and the items that we touched upon. Encourage everyone, of course, as always, to do your own homework and digging, investigation, inquiry. Send us your thoughts, comments, questions, guest ideas, show suggestions, and hopefully, yes, PayPal donations via Pirate One Radio over on PayPal. Pirate One Radio at protonmail.com, or just a straight up email will suffice with anything that happens to be on your mind. We're back on Gab. It's an ongoing struggle here, folks. This net neutrality business, as we laid out and established there right from the get go of tonight's live stream, is a false and a total fraud. As are most of the official narratives, the way that these narratives are framed. Net neutrality, the COVID kill shots, the scamdemic, man-made climate change. Are we going to get kicked off of YouTube for daring to question the science surrounding man-made climate change? Probably at some point. Just watch. It just goes on and on and on. And that's why we push back, because there's some of us out here who don't quite see things the way that certain others would prefer that we do. You know, the war on drugs. Well, don't they mean the war on some drugs? That's what it is. It is the war on some drugs, not the war on all drugs. The war on terror. What kind of double think is that? How is war not terror? People, come on. War crimes. Oh God. Yeah. How is war not a crime? What greater crime could you possibly conceive of than cold-blooded murder? All now, pursued and executed, unfolding while sitting in a comfortable console room with video screens at one's disposal, all kinds of fancy levers, controls, you name it. Nothing personal, of course, just following orders, just following Palantir's orders. Yeah, low orbit satellites, something that RFK Jr. tried to warn us about. Haven't heard him talk about that too much lately. There was a great speech that he made in Washington, D.C. So, speaking of which, where has the MAGA, or rather MAHA, that's a great little acronym too there. It's Sanskrit for great. I wonder if Tanya is aware. She knows that, of course, but I wonder if she's made the connection with RFK Jr.'s "Make America Healthy Again," or as we like to say here via South Korea, "Make Asia Healthy Again." You ought to see the crap they have in these foods here. They call them foods. Oh my God! Talk about making people sick, making people sleepy, docile, doing God only knows what to our most precious, really, energies, robbing us of our life force. Because substandard foods that are made available, well, they tax the hell out of us too, make us pay through the nose for this crap. And I guess in some ways we have no one but ourselves to blame, other than the fact that the wife and I did have a garden here for a couple of years, but I was not too pleased with the regular spraying of chemtrails. That was an issue, of course. That was a major issue. We needed a greenhouse. There's a lot of work, a lot of upkeep too, watering and weeding and everything else. There's a lot of work. It really just, we're not, ultimately after a couple of years, decided it was too much, and we had given it a shot, but there was other things, I guess, that we needed to turn our attention to, and here we are. Life goes on. Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Little ditty, Jack and Diane. Mellencamp, is he back out on the road again? He puts on a pretty decent live show. I've seen him from time to time here with, was it Plain Spoken? Something, one of the releases he did a few years ago with his band. He's a what's his nickname? Little Bastard. He can be a real tyrant, tyrannical SOB, a stickler for perfection, and he knows what he wants. I guess he wants what he knows. So rock and roll industry for you. But um, great, great songwriter, no doubt about that. Who knows where it all comes from, but and a painter too. Just a brilliant painter, kind of like Ronnie Wood. Bob Dylan is another. Where these people come up with this, I don't know. It's just a part of their brain, the way that they've been wired, presumably. You know, I I I I've tried a little bit of artistry in the sense of pictures and drawing and that sort of thing, but haven't pursued it really all that much earnest or effort. Just for me, it's been mostly just music, songs, and then and then stopping, quitting, giving up, saying just fuck it all. It's a healthy dose of the fuck it all pill because I mean here in South Korea you're isolated. You can, rare occasion you can even make it to a live gig. You've got to go out and make your own music if you want any. So there we go. Coley UFO disclosure. Hey, speaking of rock and roll, John Fogerty, great songwriter and just a musical legend and icon, no doubt about that. So long may he run. So much great music over the years, courtesy of the likes of Mellencamp and Fogerty, Springsteen, Dylan, Neil Young, Van Morrison. Not only national, but ultimately really world treasures. You know, the music and culture creation front, which is a big, that's a realm all on its own. Culture creation. There's a great shot of Tanya. Not sure what sort of robes those are, whether she's made them herself or purchased them locally. But there we go. Well, maybe she can tell us sometime where that picture was taken. So, but there we go. Yeah, we should not dally any further here. Thank you for your support once again, folks. I mean, it could be a week or two when you'll hear from us again. We're busy, new work schedule, street busking. It's heating up here in South Korea. The humidity factor is off the scales, as you can imagine, and live streaming. While we appreciate and enjoy the opportunity, chance that we have, and might as well make the most of it while we still have a semi-free and open internet. That you've got to let us know if it to what extent you find it to be of any benefit or value to you. So we've got the merch out there, courtesy of galacticfire.com, coffee mugs and t-shirts. We have a Patreon presence. Sign up, join us via Patreon for free. Take it from there. Let us know when you've connected with us over on Patreon, and we can upload some new content for you. Not a problem. And the digital end of things too. Let's not forget. Always appreciated it. Half of everything we do manage to generate goes directly back to charity, to the grassroots, the people who it really need it and benefit from it the most. That's what we're committed to. Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? Probably something along those lines. You would imagine. You would think. So having said all this, everyone, once again, have a great weekend. Stay safe. And for remind you that on behalf of Captain Long John Sinclair, all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, I'm your host as always, Ship's Chief Communications Officer Jaffe Ryder. Keep your ear to the ground and eyes to the sky. WPRPN.com website, check it out. Do keep in touch. Tally ho.